approaches the throne.
Why, hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, thank you so much for stopping by. And welcome to stream, everyone. Hello, Raiders. Hello. Great timing. Very beginning of the stream. Blink, 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 blink. My name is Prince. I'm the third prince of the magical Melarosia Kingdom. I'm a variety streamer who likes cute things and cute boys. I usually play story of games such as RPGs and otomes, and tonight we are playing the demo of the In-Between, which I've been excited for a while. And now I finally have time to play it. I've had this demo for a bit. but now I have time to play it. Yay. Hi, Lilith. I'm doing all right. All right.
Someone has joined the kingdom.
Oh, hello, Vicon. Thank you so much for stopping by. So without further ado, let's pop over here. Hello. It's me. Why, I confirmed that you were working before I hit start stream. So why are you not working? Are you working now? No. Huh? No more shrimping. No. I'll drink the water. And to stretch. I'm supposed to be fixing things. How can I stretch at a time like this? Ugh. Alright, well, time for me to figure out what the heck. Oh, I know exactly what happened. It's because there we go. There we go. Yahoo, okay. There we go. Come on. Alright, and now I hit the music. Alright! There we go, it all works now. Hello. So yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the In-Between. Much fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight playing this demo. I'm very excited. I do have one quick announcement. My usual Melarosanians know that actually tonight we were going to have an event stream. We were gonna do Smasher Pass. Viewer submitted Smasher Pass, but I did forget to post the submission link anywhere but Discord. So, oh no, spirits, give me back. Give me back. There we go. Okay. So that got pushed to next week. Literally next week. The link is currently pinned, so if you are interested in submitting a character that I will smash or pass, and you want me to review them on stream, you can submit there. We currently have 28 characters. Last time I think we got close to 60. Last time we did a viewer submitted Smasher Pass, we got close to 60. So crazy. But yeah. So that is the one announcement I have for today. And now we can get started with the In-Between. I'm very excited. Was there any Pokemon in there? I don't think so. But I have already done a Pokemon Smasher Pass, though. I did it a few years ago. But yes, let's start. I'm gonna keep. Oh, okay. I need to.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I really need to up the.
In spirits? In demons?
Oh, okay. Well, those are a lot of different things.
I do.
Thank you, sir.
There's a world right on the edge of your consciousness.
Oh.
But not everyone can see it.
Correct.
Those of us with the sight have a duty to protect, to maintain.
Oh. Well, I will be maintaining the population.
Apologize for what I must do.
Oh no. What are you doing to me? Oh, Dad, what you doing to me?
I love you.
You're gonna make me second guess that. Edwin Riley. Oh.
P.S.
Oh, P.S.
Happy birthday, Micah.
Oh.
How I wish I could be spending it with you.
How many types of Santa can be put in? I mean, you could put whatever freaking. I mean. You could put whatever you want in, because pass is a fair answer. Okay, roll black. I want music volume up. Oh, we need text speed. Oh, baby, we need that full. We need that full. Because otherwise, you are gonna get caught in the Prince reads much too fast. All right. A world away from ghosts, from demons and spirits, was a young man named Micah Riley. At 24 years old, he's younger than me. He just recently graduated from the Dynasty Institute, a highly competitive and prestigious university with a diploma in business. Look, I'm gonna be honest that I have a small bias against business majors. That's just because the only business majors I knew were out drinking the night before an international flight. And I ended up having to guide everyone home from an international flight in Japan. So, small bias against business majors. I'm certain Micah is perfectly fine. It wasn't his first choice. See? Okay. Possibly not even his second. But his uncle was the dean of the business school. Ah, nepotism. And his aunt was one of the lecturers, so it was what was expected of him. Nepotism. However, he was able to take some summer classes in art. Nice, on the condition that he could also hold down a part-time job. Okay. He chose a local cafe, cozy but chic. He instantly fell in love with the place. He used to visit this place almost every day when he started university. The atmosphere helped him think. Mary ran the business side of things, but was also a skilled barista, teaching him how to do latte art, which he got pretty damn good at, thank you very much. Chef Thomas taught him how to cook and prepare the menu items. He was also the one who encouraged him to enroll in the art course, both he and Mary enthusiastically offering to hire him. A husband and wife duo, and incredible people. Today, though, he had been given the day off, a rare occurrence for the ever-conscientious Micah. University was finally done, and his roommate, Leonardo Addy, was moving out of the apartment they rented together. The building was nothing special, just a regular apartment you could find anywhere. What made it so appealing was the rent discount that a student could get on the place thanks to the university. Otherwise, Micah was sure they would have ended up in a shoebox of an apartment. Leon, as Micah called him, was moving to work with his father across town. It wasn't far from the apartment by any means, but this building didn't have parking. Oh, yikes. And as he was starting a new venture in real estate, he needed somewhere he could keep a car. Oh. Are you certain you want to... real estate? You certain that's what you want to do? I mean, alright. So he was reluctantly moving. Still, he threatened time and time again that he would visit as much as humanly possible. Micah and Leon had known each other since they were kids in kindergarten, but it wasn't until they coincidentally ended up living together that they actually became friends. Aww. They attended the same school throughout the years, but were in different classes. They knew each other's faces, but not really who they were. You know how it goes. Depending on what type of real estate, no. But also, I love how a lot of these are like, yeah, I roomed with someone in college. And I'm like, yeah, I roomed with someone in the dorm for the first year. And then I was serenaded with the sound of my third roommate, or I guess second roommate. Technically, there were three of us, so second roommate. I was serenaded with her having sex with her boyfriend at all hours of the night, and I said, I can't fucking deal with this. And then I've lived alone ever since. Oh, I didn't read that. Somehow it was already moving day for Leon. The lounge room was slowly filling up with his boxes. Oh my. Micah was still shocked by how much stuff one guy could accrue in 4 years. Serious shopping addiction. Well, Leon, you ready yet? It'll be dark by the time you manage to tape these up. He was seriously procrastinating, as per usual. All right, I'm going as fast as I can. Tisk tisk, moving on your best friend's birthday and taking your sweet time doing it. Typical. Oh, it's our birthday. Today was November 15th, which just so happened to be Micah's 24th birthday. Not anniversary, birthday. Incorrect event. He wasn't actually upset about Leon moving today of all days. Not really. Hi, Holly! It wasn't something he'd ever particularly celebrated, after all. He did, however, really enjoy tormenting Leon about it, who was, as it turned out, quite upset about the date. Micah tousled Leon's hair as he walked out with the final box. Surprisingly, he was going straight to work once the movers took all the boxes, so he was already dressed in his new suit. It was quite a sight, a young, suited man carrying out boxes that were definitely too heavy for him, while trying to pretend he wasn't on the verge of crying about the whole situation. Well, he's got to go to work immediately after he moves. Which is interesting. The redhead watched his friend with interest. He'd never seen Leon so dressed up. His usual style was far more casual. Oversized jumpers and comfortable pants. That suit really didn't suit him. Oh god. Micah smiled to himself. He had to admit, it did look good on him, despite it not being his usual style. He could just imagine the little old ladies pinching his cheeks as he gave them tours of their retirement homes. I didn't pick today. You know how sorry I am. I want to stay for the day so badly and celebrate with you, but my old man was determined that it had to be today I started. Yeah. He looked so sad that Micah actually felt a little bit bad for him. He didn't want him to go either, of course. They had fun living together, but it wasn't like they would stop being friends just because they didn't anymore. All right, no need to cry. Seriously, you'll make me cry too. I'm not. He totally, undoubtedly was. They spent the rest of the morning sealing boxes and stacking them by the front door ready for the movers. How many love interests? 3. One cat boy, one demon boy, and I believe Leonardo's the other one, if I recall. Yeah. Oh yeah, if you're interested in the demo or wishlisting the game, this is the link to it. I highly recommend you go wishlist it. Yeah, one demo boy, one TMNT, yeah. It was hard work considering how many boxes he'd managed to fill. Catch you later, man. Come by the cafe when you're free next. I wonder when that will be. Dad's got me booked solid for a month. Don't worry, there's no rush. Anyway, that sounds pretty rough. Good luck. Thanks. I think I'm gonna need it. The redhead sighed as the sulky brunette finally exited the building, no longer about to delay the inevitable. He hoped Leon would be okay. As strange as it was going to be being alone in the apartment, his silver lining was getting out of celebrating his birthday that year, an occasion he was less than fond of. Disturbing his tired thoughts, a vibrating tone sounded from his pocket. He didn't need to even check who it was. Oh? Did we only ever get, like, contacted by one person or something? Oh, we have a phone! We have a phone! My goodness. Okay, texts. Oh, Leon. Did I say happy birthday? I mean, happy birthday! Yes, you said happy birthday already. Aw. I get to work. Don't want to get fired on your first day. Smiley face. He's such an idiot. Leon was only slightly younger, but sometimes he acted like a lost kid. Any excuse to text or call and he'd take it. It was endearing, if not a little tiresome on occasion. Still, it made Micah smile as he locked his phone once more, slumping down on the couch. Moving was seriously exhausting, and it wasn't even him who moved. Maybe he'd take a nap. Maybe he would close his eyes. Maybe he would just close his eyes for a few minutes. It didn't matter how much sleep he got lately. It never seemed to be enough. Oh. You know what? Yeah. A sudden thunderstorm isn't unusual weather where I live. A sudden roar of thunder and a flash through the sky woke Micah with a start. It was dark. The room was nearly pitch black. From the storm? Or had he slept all day? He rubbed his head. He'd been getting some killer headaches lately, and his sleeping pattern was all over the place. With a yawn, he lifted his phone to check the time as he reached over to turn on the lamp beside him, squinting as the sudden brightness hit his tired eyes. Oh, man. He sighed, slept the whole day. He'd catch up on the messages later, he decided. Micah rubbed his forehead again, trying to calm the headache. He'd been having a dream. It seemed so real, but now he couldn't even remember what it was. It was right on the cusp of his mind, but out of reach. His fuzzy mind tried to recall how he'd ended up asleep on the couch, all while his phone continued to blip with notifications. Birthday wishes, reminders, emails, Leon updating on his new apartment. With a casual swipe, he erased the building alerts on his home screen. He'd catch up on the messages later, he decided. His eyes drifted over the date in the corner of the screen. Happy birthday to me, I guess. His family didn't really celebrate birthdays, but he did have one tradition. Even a birthday. Every birthday it would rain, without fail. Ha. 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 He would sit by a window listening to his favorite music and sketch. He loved the rain. It was melancholic. One of his earliest memories was playing in the rain with someone? Who was that again? He frowned, but couldn't remember his face. He knew it was a young man playing with him, but he couldn't remember who he was. He held onto his head tighter now, feeling his headache got worse. It always got worse when he tried to remember his childhood. I mean, I guess like 3 years in a row, I would be like, that's too many to be a coincidence. Also, if your head hurts when you try to remember your childhood, look into therapy. All he could remember was that smiling face through a deep haze. Sometimes it seemed so clear, he could almost make out his features. Other times, nothing. Micah got off the couch with an effort unbecoming of one in his early 20s and wandered towards the balcony doors. Watching the rain outside made him feel calmer. He breathed out on the glass of the doors. I mean, 2's a coincidence, 3 is a pattern, so... Okay, yes. He wrote a single word in the fog. A name. Yeah. Me? Ah! Edwin. Edwin! Edwin! Followed by another. Riley. Oh, that's our dad, right? This name, he was sure it belonged to his father. He was sure that's whose face he saw when he remembered playing in the rain. Oh, did our dad fucking die? The name on the letter he kept hidden from his Aunt Caroline. She didn't like any mention of Micah's parents. It seemed like she wasn't very fond of them. Oh, raised by his aunt and uncle, they were the only family he ever knew. Okay, our parents fucking died. They weren't bad people at all, but he never felt like they actually wanted him around. He did what he was told, studied what they wanted him to. He learned to never, ever ask about his family. He knew only that his father was his aunt's brother. The subject was banned early on when he came to live with them for some unknown reason. They went to study ghosts. He couldn't remember much before then, just that when he awoke in the hospital, his Aunt Caroline told him he would be living with her now. Oh. Yeah, I think you have trauma. He would never see the wretched old man ever again. The who? She wouldn't tell him who this wretched old man was, though. But somehow the thought of not seeing him made him sad, even if he didn't know why. I suppose I should get back to Leon before he starts to freak out. Take too long to respond and he'll convince himself something horrible happened. So little faith. The redhead smiled to himself. Sometimes Leon was so awkward and dorky, and other times he was like a mother hen worried over his injury-prone little chick. Not that he called himself injury-prone. Yeah, have we considered therapy? I think we should consider it. I can say it's never too late to start. He did find himself crippled with migraines a lot, though, so maybe he was in the way. Okay. Interesting use of that word. Been a long time since I've seen a story with a, well, you know, I can say cripple. I can say cripple, because I'm physically disabled. Maybe consider the word hindered? Or heavily set back? Yeah, he worries too much, honestly. Still, it's nice that he cares so much. The rest of the night was spent chatting to Leon before he finally dragged himself to his bedroom to sleep once again. I'm sorry, is that Harpter? Harrppptter. Harpter. Harpter. A groggy and sleep-deprived young man clung to his pillows as he begrudgingly awoke from his restless slumber. Groaning in protest, he negotiated with himself to remain beneath his warm sheets. Yet another night where he felt as if he barely slept behind him. His headaches and fatigue were getting worse. Hey! Have you maybe also considered that you might be disabled? Trauma and disability tend to go hand in hand. Right. Work. He was back at work today and glad for the distraction. Yeah, Harpter. Oh yeah, it's kind of Harry Potter-ish. While he wasn't able to get that precious, extra sleep, he wasn't too bothered. He wasn't much of a fan of having too much time to think, and if he stayed here, that's all he ended up doing. Sooner or later, he'd have to face his aunt, the business career she wanted for him. He didn't actually know what he wanted to do, really. He was happy for now at the cafe. The cafe was locally famous for its delicious food and creative latte art. One thing he in particular was known for was drawing cartoon cats and rabbits on kids' meals and sauce. Here's your ketchup on your rice, master. It was definitely popular with the children. It could be kind of fun to run his own kitchen one day, he thought to himself. Maybe some kind of mythology-themed cat cafe hybrid. Yeah, right. As he was thinking, he was dressing. He liked the uniform from Merriment Cafe too. Oh yeah, he liked the uniform from Merriment Cafe too. Comfortable, but also pretty stylish. He glanced at the clock. Somehow, it was already time to get going. Shit! His stomach rumbled as he forlornly gave up the idea of eating breakfast. He probably could make something simple, but he didn't quite feel like reenacting an anime girl and her toast running out the door. Yeah. He always lamented his lack of a motorized vehicle at times like this, but his trusty bike hadn't failed him yet. Quickly, he grabbed his uniform bag and headed for the door. It wasn't common among the Merriment staff to get changed there, but he'd much rather change once he got to work than risk getting his uniform dirty on the ride over. At least the ride would help him wake up. Hey. Wow, this is a lot more modern than I expected. Oh. Morning, boss. Huh? Oh, and a fabulous morning to you as well, Micah. I'm gonna head out back and change. I'll be right back. Sure thing. Oh, Micah, while you're out there, will you remind Thomas to check on that new blend, please? Micah waved back at her in acknowledgement. The morning was busy as usual, regulars and new visitors alike. Micah was a popular server, and he had customers who came in just to see him. Aw. Mary found it amusing, to say the least. She would regularly call him their poster boy. He found it incredibly embarrassing. He didn't do anything special. He just liked making art on food and seeing people's faces when they saw it. Oh, Leon! Hey man, can I get a double caramel latte, please? With extra sprinkles? Yeah. Hey, wait! Leon. Thought you were slammed for a whole month. Ugh, you got a break soon? I got a lot to talk about. Yeah, I finished in a couple minutes, actually. Excellent timing as always. Yeah, right, like you didn't already know that. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I'll be $3.95, sir. Man, a drink for $3.95. That's not terribly expensive. Sir. Earth to Leon, you gonna pay for your sugar attack or just stand there like a space cadet? A deep blush covered Leon's face. Yeah, sorry. Grab a table and I'll bring it over to you when it's ready. Yeah, thanks. He paid for his drink and sat down at a table as directed. He looked so awkward waiting. Micah couldn't help but wonder what was up with him. Was work that rough yesterday? Okay, break time. Hey, never mind. Love you, Leon. I am 100% gonna go fuck the cat man, so move on. Awkward silence. Micah decided to switch gears. So, how did the job go yesterday? The other romanceable guy is he's like a cat. He's either kitsune or cat, and I think he's cat. So and the other guy is a demon too. So I like them more than Leon. So unfortunate. Yeah, sorry, Leon. Put some cat ears on and try again. You had a good job guys today. Huh? Oh, yeah. He perked up as he found something he could talk about. Dad assigned me to this weird old place on the outskirts. The outskirts? Don't know anything was out there. Yep, out near the haunted forest you love so much. Sorry, I have something on my microphone. There we go. Haunted forest. What? No, I don't. I'm just kidding. I know you're a big fraidy cat when it comes to ghosts. He sneezed at the word cat and pulled a disapproving face. That's what you get. So allergic to cats, even mentioning one makes him sneeze. What a sad existence. See, Leon, this is why we cannot be together. My entire existence will make you miserable because you're allergic to me. Seriously, though, the old man's really fixated on this place. Why is that? That's the thing. I don't know. I went there to check it out, but it just looks like an abandoned building on a lot of land. Nothing particularly special. Old buildings get sold all the time. He probably just thinks it's an easy sell for the newbie. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They chatted some more until Micah's break was over. The words flow easily, just as they always had between them. As Leon stood to leave, he suddenly turned back to face Micah. Oh, by the way, shoot me a text before when you knock off. Huh? What does that mean? I mean, I can assume by context clues that it means, like, get off work, but I've never heard when you knock off. That also kind of makes it sound like when you die. Shoot me a text when you knock off. Okay, or... I have some time tonight. We should grab dinner for your birthday since we couldn't yesterday.
Hello, Zichiko! Hi!
What? I should check. Oh my god, Index, if Pudding doesn't come tonight, you're first. If Pudding doesn't come in tonight, Index, you become the #1 stamp champ. Or you have the #1 amount of stamps. You have the most stamps. None of those things I was saying was English. Yeah, shoot me a text when you kick the bucket. Yeah, it's also strange.
But yes, hello, Zichiko.
We're playing romance game demo. And I'm trying to romance the cat man. Yeah, knock off is more like killing someone, but shoot me a text when you knock off. Really, it's just an interesting phrasing that I don't think I understand. How are you top 10? Because we don't have that many regulars. Yeah, or it's the Pokemon attack. I mean, we have a good few regulars. I mean, we're the freaking top 5% of Twitch, but
Oh, that's so cute.
but yeah, that's why you're top 10.
7 beans.
In here, I thought I escaped the celebrations. Micah. Alright, I'll text you. No need to make that face. Leon gritted response and walked out of the cafe with a carefree wave. With yet another sigh, Micah shook his head and smiled to himself before getting back to work. More beans. Yeah, the shift passed by quickly after that. A steady stream of customers kept Micah busy enough that time seemed to fly, just how he liked it. He glanced up at the clock. Knock off time already. What do you mean? What do you mean? Because this must be some sort of like cultural slang. This must be a cultural slang. Yeah, this is a very modern looking cafe currently. All good. A moment later, he had changed back out of his uniform, prepared to leave. He dug his hand into his pocket, searching for his phone to text Leon, only to discover nothing was there. With a frown, he checked his other pocket. Oh fuck, did we lose our phone? Pudding! I'm sorry, Index. You are now tied again.
Hi, Pudding.
Hi, Pudding. There we go. I knew I was gonna hiccup eventually.
Tobin bets.
Yeah, here to keep the lead tied. You just woke up from a nap. Oh. I'm guessing you guys didn't do D&D with Muffin today. Because Muffin fucking responded to a tweet. I tweeted, I was at the grocery store, which for me, the closest grocery store is freaking Target. So it's also oh, I'm sorry. It, you know, it has a bunch of there. I opened Twitter to check how fast he replied to me, and I just got blasted in the face with Twitter. No, because I was gonna say, yeah. So I was at the store, and I walked past their video game section, and they had Switch 2 in stock. They had the Switch 2 in stock at my local Target. Okay. Okay. I was like, this must, okay. So it was some sort of cultural slang. But so, for some reason I thought it was today. Yeah, blame the Brits. But so I just tweeted. I tweeted immediately when I saw it because I was like, oh, that's tempting. And Muffin just like immediately responds, Prince, don't. I was like, yeah, I thought it was supposed to be today, which is why I was like, why are you responding to my tweets and not DMing? That's okay. The DM bug is starting to bite me. So I may try to reboot some stuff. I may reboot. I may reboot Glitter Hearts. Yeah, I keep coming back to Glitter Hearts and wanting to reboot Glitter Hearts. Maybe I will. I'll see who wants to play it. Not there either. Shit. Great. This is just great. Where could it have gone? He rushed back into the staff room and scanned over the area. Nothing. It was nowhere in sight. Then somewhere in the cafe, could it have fallen out of his pocket? 10 minutes of searching later, he rubbed at his temples. It wasn't anywhere. Did he have it with him this morning? Maybe he left it behind? His mind raced with possibilities. He rushed out of the cafe doors, calling out a hasty goodbye to Mary, and grabbed his bike to quickly get home. He pedaled hard, desperately hoping he simply left it behind, didn't lose it on the ride in. It would be such a huge pain to have lost it for real. Even disregarding the cost of a new phone, he would have lost everything he kept on it. The ride home was stressful. Everything that could get in his way did. How come only when he was in a rush did people feel like suddenly appearing in front of his bike? A pervasive sense of doom and frustration built within the redhead as he raced up the stairs to his apartment. He didn't quite understand his own panic. It was just a phone, after all. He didn't care about it beyond the inconvenience of its content. So why did he feel such a pressing desperation to have it back in his hands? Yeah. I mean, at least it's not called, like, the FML store. Yeah, commercial center. Like it was at TCG Simulator. Finally back to his apartment, the redhead threw open the front door, making a beeline to his best guess, his bedroom. A few upturned items later, and sure enough, sitting on the end of his bed, right under his nightshirt, was the unassuming item of his search. No idea. There you are. Relief flooded his body, safe from replacing such an ingrained item. He should text Leon now that he had it back, but after the stress of getting home to find it, he was now too exhausted to want to do anything. Understandable. Yeah, it says Harrptter. Harpter. A heavy tiredness washed over him, the adrenaline leaving his body, turning from energy to pure exhaustion. I think it's just weird filters. I know the studio. This is the same studio that did it's published by the same studio that did Date with Death. And they also, this developer also released Moonflower. which is all very not AI. So I very much doubt that it's actually AI. His muscles burning after the ride of his life. He flopped down on his bed and absentmindedly scrolled through his notifications. Junk emails, social media nonsense, a million texts from Leon, and a missed call from an unknown number. Weird. Wonder who that was. Don't usually get many calls. What do you mean you don't usually get many calls? Are you not inundated with spam like I am? Even more surprisingly, they left no message. He stared at the number for a moment before curiosity got the better of him and he searched up the number. A lawyer? Harris Lobner Law. I love people also ask, is it legal to own a panther? Is it hard to pass law school? Pace attorney, legal legend walkthrough. He screwed up his face, utterly confused. The feeling from earlier still niggled at his spine, the feeling of importance. Yeah, bingus. Oh, rubbing his eyes, he stared at the blurry little screen. Huh. He could see the name perfectly well, but the rest of the screen results had a strange glitch to them. That's annoying. Something wrong with the page? I wonder what that's about. He shook his head, deciding that whoever it actually was couldn't actually be that interesting. Maybe they got the wrong number? What would a lawyer want with me? He looked at the page for a while longer, trying to decide what to do. He knew logically, but his curiosity and intuition screamed something else entirely. Should he call them back? They didn't leave a message though, so maybe it was a wrong number after all? He scrolled through the rest of his missed notifications, skim reading through all of Leon's messages. To make his 37 message stream of text short, it seemed as if he spent some more time dealing with that rural property since he left the cafe. His dad really wanted it by the sound of it. Finally, he was all caught up. He felt bad. He'd promised Leon he would text him back as soon as his shift finished, but that became a little difficult to do without a phone. Micah was still thinking about the missed call too, absent-mindedly scrolling through nothing as he stared aimlessly at his device. We're gonna drop a save, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna call back the Mr. number. Micah stared at the missed call. Something about that number drew him in, captivated him. He knew that he had to speak to this person now. Why? And he didn't know, he just had to. It was important. Yeah, he thought on that feeling for a moment, but in the end decided to trust that gut feeling. Holy shit! Just as Micah went to hit the call button, his phone started to buzz. He jumped up in surprise, nearly dropping his phone. Barely catching it, he caught sight of the caller ID. It was the same number! Oh, hey! And this time he was available to answer it. He rushed to his desk where he kept a notebook just in case. Hello? Ah, good evening. Mr. Malcolm Riley, I presume. Malcolm? The right family name, but who was Malcolm? May I ask who's calling? Forgive me, where are my manners? Arthur Harris, administrator to the estate of the late Gregory Riley. I'm calling about the last will and testament. Oh God, in regards to the unresolved inheritance to one M. Riley. Gregory Riley. He'd heard that name before, but where? Micah had yet to respond, but the man continued talking. You're a hard man to find, sorry, I seem to recall you preferring to be known by your middle name, Edwin. Is that still accurate? Forgive me, it's been many years since I last saw you or your father. You or your father? Those words pounded in his head like a drum. Who was that person? He said Edwin. Edwin Riley was the name of his father, he was sure of that. He swallowed hard. His whole body felt heavy like it was suddenly constructed of lead. All his attention was directed to that voice he could hear through the phone. You or your father? Edwin, are you there? I'm not Edwin. Edwin is my father, but he's been gone for years. Wait, for some reason he decided against telling him that? Maybe I could find out more from this man if I pretend he's still here, but just not available. Yeah, my dead dad? He can't come to the phone right now. He swallowed again. It was almost painful how anxious he was.
Oh, hi, Phantom! Phantom's over on the YouTube sides.
He's not available at the moment. May I help you with something? Edwin's son. You must be little Michaela. Michaelia? How do we pronounce that? Michaelia? 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 Yeah, there's some buff men here. Has it really been that long? Michaelia? It was technically his full name, but no one ever called him that. Not even his aunt, who was a stickler for proper language and names. In fact, he didn't have any recollection of anyone calling him by that name. How did this man know it? You knew my father then? I do indeed. Haven't heard from him since your grandfather passed, however. I've been trying to get in contact with him about the estate for quite some time. Of course, I finally find a lead and it ends up being his son.
Head pats. Thank you.
Yeah, man, titties are to die for. Then, could you tell me more about the estate? I shouldn't really. Micah struggled not to curse out of frustration. But since it's taken me so long to find your father, and you are technically an M. Riley, I see no harm. The redhead's breath caught in his chest. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Such a polite young man. Gregory would be proud indeed. I have the afternoons free. What say we meet for a late lunch and go over the details I have to share with you? I would very much like to see how much my dear friend's grandson has grown after all these years. Yeah, I don't think that's accurate at all. That sounds fine. We could meet at the Merriment Cafe if you've heard of it. Very well. Merriment it is. 2 p.m. tomorrow. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And with that, the call was over. Micah's heart raced. He had finally met someone who knew his father. And his grandfather, too. The redhead looked at the call log on his phone, convinced he was imagining the conversation he was just part of. He had to be. It was too surreal. And yet, there it was. Right there in his call log. Oh shit, Leon. He didn't know if he had the mental fortitude to take on socializing right now. He had so much to think about.
No blessings.
His mind raced faster than his thoughts could keep up with. Finally, he had a lead. His hand drifted to the jacket pocket where he kept his most precious letter. Would he finally know who Edwin really was? His father and grandfather. For the first time ever, he was close to learning something. Thank you. All the lovely hiccups. All the hiccups. All the blessings. Blink, 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 blink. Yeah, at least you get your Tobin Phantom. I just took a sip. I'll take another. Did I seriously just throw water down my front? I did. Okay, well. And of course I'm wearing shorts while I've got my pants rolled up. And it just fucking slides down my leg. Oh, that's great. Okay, well. It'll be dry by the end of stream. For the first time ever, he was close to learning something. Hey! I should text him. Oh, that's right. Phone. Text. Leon. Hey, man. Sorry about this evening. I left my phone at home. Ugh. And something's come up. Oh, and something came up. Sorry, I should have messaged you before. Leon is typing. Leon is typing. Oh, it's okay. Everything all right? Debatable. Yeah, it's all good. Just family stuff. Nothing special. Well, everything special. Oh, well, I guess I'll let you get back to it then. Yeah, thanks, man. I love how Leon texts his uhs. I'll catch up with you later, okay? Oh, I can exit now. It was special, of course. Nothing about it wasn't special. He just didn't want to say anything before he knew for sure what it was about. He knew he could tell Leon. He wanted to tell him, in fact, but he needed to be sure. Knowing Leon, he'd drop everything he was doing and come running to his side to learn it with him. As precious as his friend was to him, he couldn't bear speaking about it too early, only for it to be nothing. The typing appeared and disappeared, appeared and disappeared. Leon seemed to have something to say, but in the end, he never said it. Sorry, Leon, I'm gonna go fuck a cat person. Sleep did not come easy that night. When it did, it was that same dream, the hazy figure smiling at him as they played in a puddle. This was a dream that plagued him. It burned at his mind, itched like a scene lost to time, desperate to be rekindled. Who are you? Why can't I remember you? The cold night air hung heavy in the still dark room as the redhead awoke. No longer able to tolerate the shallow sleep of the night, he laid awake staring at the ceiling. Agonizingly slowly, the day broke and the room started to lighten, chasing away the last wisps of that haze-filled dream. As the sun rose, so did Micah's anxiety. The phone call from the previous day finally sinking in. He might find something out about his family today. Finally. It had been 17 years. Since he came to live with his aunt. 17 long years of not knowing. 17 years since waking up in that hospital bed with no memory of how he got there, what he'd been doing, or who he'd been. What he'd been doing. Yeah. Every time he tried to ask about his parents, his aunt would shut down the conversation or change the subject in some way. I assume it'll be more in line later. Whatever happened amongst their family, it was clearly something horrific to make her hate them so much. Not that he could ever figure out what. There was always a pain behind her voice, a combination of anger and deep sadness. Part of Micah didn't want to push her. After all, they were her family too. Another part deeply resented being kept so entirely in the dark. What was so bad he couldn't know? But today, she couldn't stop him asking. Pacing around the apartment was all he was capable of at that moment. It was all he could manage. That's 8 a.m. God, 9 a.m. Oh, for some reason, I'm having trouble reading that so big. 10 a.m. You should have seen me. I was like squinting, leaning back. 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Enough was enough. There was only so much pacing one man could do. Yeah, it's not even really well, okay. I prefer it not being an analog clock. I don't really like analog clocks. It takes me much longer to read them. When his mind still filled with the thoughts of that lawyer, Micah decided that he should just head to Merriman early. Anything was better than pacing back and forth any longer. He'd make up some excuse about wanting to watch Thomas in the kitchen or practice a new latte art. Something. Anything would do. As he walked through the doors of the cafe, Micah desperately tried to calm his quickening heartbeat. If he spent some time messing about here for a while, it would surely start going quickly, right? Micah recalled something about Thomas trying out a new menu item today, too. A worthy distraction. Eventually, thoughts of the meeting began to melt away as he watched Thomas cooking in the kitchen. Before long, he found himself sketching the meal at different stages of preparation. What he first thought would be a useful skill, his food drawings had become not only useful, but a feature of the cafe, featuring prominently on Mary's menus. Sometimes he even drew things for customers, a unique flair to the cafe. He checked his phone nervously. 1:25. Oh. Time went so slowly at first, but spending time at the cafe drawing and chatting to Thomas actually made time go much quicker than he expected. He took a deep breath. He felt much calmer, thankful for the distraction this had become. Oh, wow. Hi, sir. Why don't you get a table in the dining room? In the dining room? Someone's got to make sure these are actually edible. I don't think anything you could make would be inedible, but I'm not one to turn down the famous Thomas's cooking. With a smile, Micah took a seat at one of the empty tables, and Thomas brought out his newest experiments. They looked and smelled delicious. Stars in his eyes, the redhead's mouth watered just seeing the dishes being presented to him. Before him, Thomas placed 2 dishes. Whoa! One wasn't really a dish as much as the most indulgent-looking milkshake Micah had ever seen. The redhead inspected the decadent beverage. By its color, it appeared to be coffee or maybe chocolate, topped with whipped cream, chocolate powder, tiny cookies, wafers, and the most impossible-looking cat chocolate. Oh, cat chocolate! Last but not least, finished off with a long straw and thin spoon, which to Micah's amusement also featured a cat ornament. Aww! The more he looked at the drink, the more impressed he became with his gravity-defying enormity. The second looked like a pie, the outer pastry woven into a lattice, once more adorned with cats. Filled with berries and syrup, it smelled divine. Aww! The redhead grinned, seeing the effort taken to personalize the dishes with the cat decorations was just one of the many things that made Merriment an incredible place. Yeah, enormity. It's like they know I like cats or something. Meow! Hidden beneath layers of pastry was a secret that made this more than just some pie. Micah had stood transfixed as Thomas was creating this masterpiece. The dessert had a layer of cheesecake? What? Inside the pie crust and under the berries. He couldn't wait to try it. Holy shit, what? That sounds fucking delicious. That sounds fucking delicious. Oh my god. Zatenica chop chop. Make it for me now! It sounds perfect. I mean, you don't want to eat so much of it. You want it to be decadent enough that you go, ah, yes, one is enough. Before he could dig in, however, Thomas brought out a third dish. Three? There's more. Where did this one come from? A special treat. A mischievous look spread across the chef's face. He gently placed the dish in front of Micah, a smile plastered to his face. Pizza? With a coconut crust? Huh? Now you may eat. Dig in. How is it even possible I could eat all this? Yeah. You better. You'll hurt my feelings otherwise. Dude. Oh, man. Micah examined the new meal with interest, trying to work out what secrets this one held. Blessings. I blessed this meal. Pizza. Try it and find out. I recommend using a fork for this one. A fork? For pizza? Okay, interest well and truly piqued. Micah happily brought it to his lips and tasted it. And of course he wasn't surprised. It was perfect, just as Thomas's cooking always was. The dish was particularly unusual, though. At first glance, this dish looked every bit a pizza. The plump pepperoni and intoxicating melting cheese hid a cheeky secret, however. The typical dough base one might expect from a pizza was conspicuously absent. In its place, crispy and surprisingly delicate noodles. Huh? I mean, I was thinking like a coconut breaded shrimp. I would have loved, you know what? That actually sounds fucking delicious. Can you imagine coconut breaded shrimp crust for a pizza? Shrimp crust? Shrimp crust? That sounds fucking delicious. Oh my god, I'm making myself salivate. I already ate dinner. Yeah, surprisingly delicate noodles. A flavor and texture sensation that burst on the tongue. Incredible. He couldn't help but be a little envious. How amazing it would be to be in Thomas's position, coming up with all kinds of new recipes. Yeah. Yeah. Still, he was thankful for the meal, if not a little curious as to what he did to deserve it. As if sensing the question mark popping up. Oh, as if seeing the question mark pop up above Micah's head as he stared at the spread in front of him, Thomas laughed. I know you don't really celebrate, but I wouldn't be a very good chef if I didn't whip you up something special for your birthday. Oh. Ah. But more than anything, you looked a little down and anxious. You come here on your days off when you aren't feeling so good. Did he? Hadn't really thought about it. After a moment, he realized Thomas was right. It was how he got the job in the first place. What's on your mind, kid? I have a meeting here soon. I think I'm about to find out who my father was. Well, that is indeed cause for a delicious meal. It is delicious, isn't it? Micah scoffed in response, a smile playing on his lips. He had nothing to worry about. Thomas was one of the best chefs Micah had ever met. He trained in some upscale restaurant overseas until he married Mary and they settled into their little cafe diner. They both loved it here, and Micah always thought what a lovely couple they made. They treated him like family. He would always be grateful for their support and kindness, even if it felt like he could never pay it back in full. Thomas still cooked incredibly fancy things sometimes, but he enjoyed comfort foods above all else. Of course it's delicious. You don't even need to ask. The food did make him feel better, too. Something about a stomach full of his cooking set his mind at ease. It was amazing how a good meal could serve as a distraction. He looked down at his phone. Fuck, 2 p.m., finally. Once again, his nerves rose, despite his best effort to keep himself calm. Fine hairs on the back of the redhead's neck danced as the jingle of the bells yeah, above the door sounded through the cafe. A knot of anticipation formed in Micah's core as he turned to inspect the new arrival. He looked the part of a lawyer, that's for sure. A tall, tan-skinned man with neat salt and pepper hair, his tailored charcoal suit perfectly pressed. A man! Is he hot? The man walked with purpose, taking in his surroundings with reserved curiosity. His eyes traveled around the cafe. Micah gazed at him expectantly, staying to greet him. Although the man looked as if he matched the voice, he wondered if his assumption was correct. I don't know. He almost seems as unsure as I am. Mr. Harris? Yeah, oh yeah, he doesn't really quite have a sprite. He's old enough to be... Well, okay, grandfather's friend. Oldie grandfather's friend. Look. I was just asking. Oh, he must be young Mr. Riley. Yes, sir, that's me. He fumbled over his words a little, his nerves getting the best of him. My, how you've grown. You're just a wee tyke last I saw you. I bet you don't remember me, do you? I don't blame you. You were very shy, hiding behind your grandfather's legs the whole time. He chuckled, one of those nostalgic and heartwarming chuckles, like he was reliving a treasured memory. Reliving, sorry, not relieving. The memory can leave now. Micah swallowed hard. Shall we sit? Okay, yep, he doesn't get a Sprite. Here goes nothing. Can I ask what he was like? I've lived with my Aunt Caroline since I was young and don't have many memories of my grandfather. Or my father. He seemed to be deep in thought. Micah held his breath, wondering if he'd blowed any chance of finding out anything. After what felt like an age, Arthur simply sighed, finally settling on his next words. He's being careful. Uh-oh. Why are you being careful? Curious. That sounds like Caroline, that's for sure. She never did get along with her family. Stands to reason that she wouldn't speak of them much. How was it that you came to live with her? Honestly, I don't really remember it well. When I was a child, I got into a bad accident of some kind, and when I woke up in the hospital a few weeks later, Aunt Caroline was there. She told me I would be living with her from then on. Oh, I remember that. Never seen Gregory more concerned about anything in my life. Arthur folded his hands and rested his chin, eyes closed in deep thought. A certain sadness settled into his strong shoulders, as if he were relieving something best forgotten. Was he there, or simply saw him after? Micah's heart drummed in his ears as he considered the possible meanings for the reaction before being brought back to the conversation with a comment so completely ordinary. Caroline. What was he like? My grandfather? If you don't mind me asking, that is. He was a good man, strong-willed and fierce, kind and compassionate. More than anything, he loved his family. They were the most important thing in the world to him. He was passionate and unstoppable. He looks nostalgic. Were you by any chance in love with him? He sounds nice. I just wish I remembered him. Yeah, but he was an adventurous one. Caroline never really approved of her father and brother. Oh, uh-huh. Yeah, I kind of got that impression too. Although, Micah raised a brow, waiting for the man before him to continue. Arthur shook his head, declining to finish his thought. What was that about? But you said you had something for my father? I'm not hitting on him! I just was asking if he's hot! You could look at the menu without ordering! Oh, yes, how could I forget? Micah steeled himself. He wanted to know what it was, but was also afraid to know. Arthur unlatched his briefcase and from it pulled a bound document followed by a wax-sealed letter. I have these in my possession for 5 years. All right. Stretch break. Okay. Ugh. Everybody remember to submit stuff to the Smasher Pass. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a different way of using RenP than what I do. Yes, everybody remember. Also, did you know? We're only 14 away from unlocking the new VN. Well, I mean, unlocking me working on the new VN. Yeah, it's not all that common. Yeah, we have 27. We have 27 submissions to the Smasher Pass. 27 submissions. Sorry, 28. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. You're still working on more? Goodness. My goodness, going out to the grocery store. Well, I also had to get gas, but getting gas and going to the grocery store really freaking took it out of me. I mean, but it's been like 50% humidity and like 90 plus degrees outside, so Yeah. It's, very, very not fun. It makes it so that when all I do is walk from the grocery store to my car, I end up drenched in sweat. Yeah, right now the humidity is 67%. So here's the thing. It's supposed to rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But yeah, it's also the air quality is only moderate. I do not currently, because I haven't applied for one of those. I haven't applied for a handicap placard simply because it's a lot of work. I have to frickin' get in with a doctor, have them, yay! That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. You have to get in with a doctor. You have to get them to fill out all the paperwork and agree to it and everything. And then you have to submit it to the state and do all that. And I'm like, ugh. Will I probably do it sometime soon? Yeah, maybe. I've had these in my possession for 5 years. I've been seeking out Edwin to pass these on to him. Yeah, it's a lot of extra work, especially because you have to prove to the doctor too that you need it. They don't just hand them out. They're gonna be like, so why can't you just do everything else? And I'll be like, I've been seeking Edwin to pass them on to him, but as his son, I'm confident Gregory would approve. 5 years? Does that mean? The man slid the documents towards Micah, who couldn't help but stare. His nerves tight in knots as he reached towards the envelope. With a shaky hand, Micah pulled them towards himself. Also, why wouldn't you ask Micah to show some fucking ID or something? Why would you just assume that Micah's telling the truth? Pulling a document from its enclosure, he scanned the thin paper within. With before him, an immaculate scripted title. Old, but well cared for. Deed. Oh shit, we got land, bro! It looked like a property deed. The redhead squinted at the writing. It certainly looked like it was bequeathed to him, but what was it? What was the Magnus Inn? Some kind of tavern? Bro, we got given property. We're rich. Oh, a violet pulse whirred through his head as his eyes scanned the deed, his fingers lightly touching the paper. Oh, what was that? What a shitty time to get a migraine. Yeah. He wasn't about to let a headache get in his way. Not now. Shaking his head, he turned his attention to the letter accompanying the deed. His eyes scanned the deed before moving to the letter. Addressed to one M. Riley. Well, technically I am an M. He took a deep breath and opened it, barely managing to stop his shaking hands. Yeah, how many years of property tax? That's a good point. I mean, technically, actually, the estate should have been taken. Also, why does it say Micah? Huh? His heart jolted. I mean, the estate should have been taking care of it. Technically, I am an M! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Yeah, the letter's labeled to us. His heart jolted. Micah. It was addressed to him. His eyes went wide as he looked the lawyer and the paper in his hand. At least he thought he was, for where the gray-haired... What? What? Where the gray-haired man sat only a moment ago was now empty space. Okay, that bit needs a little tightening up. Fucking ghost lawyer! What do you mean? Ghost lawyer? Why is he gone? What? Where could he disappear to that quickly? Panic flared up in Micah as his eyes darted from the letter back to the empty spot in front of him. He shot to his feet, eyes dashing around the room. Where once sat a man, now nothing greeted him save an empty seat. Yeah, ghost lawyer. Arthur Harris was nowhere to be seen. How could someone just vanish? Thomas gave him a quizzical look from the doorway to the kitchen, crossing his arms over his chest. Did you happen to see where he went? He was here a second ago. Did he leave while I was reading? The tension in Micah's body was making him lightheaded. Huh? See who? Mr. Harris, he was just here. Micah pointed to the seat opposite him in the booth, now abandoned. Thomas's brow wrinkled in worry as he watched the panic blossom in his employee's face. Oh, sorry, Mai. I didn't see anyone. It looked like you were alone this whole time. I thought you must have been on in a phone call? I don't think I've ever heard a phone call be referred to with the in preposition, but okay. The blood in Micah's body seemed to become ice cold and freeze. Alone. Yep, alone. How? How could I have possibly been alone? Yeah, that's why he had no Sprite. He never existed. He looked back at the table, the documents neatly laid where he left them, lonely in their isolation. They didn't vanish. They weren't part of his imagination. Those were real. How could the man who gave them to him not be? Our ghost lawyer family is a dine and dash, yeah. Well, he never actually ordered any food, so he didn't actually dine and dash. There must be some kind of mistake. You feeling all right? You look like you've seen a ghost. Well, ghosts? That was the last thing Micah heard as he passes the fuck out as all his senses all went black. Thump. Fucking smacked on this fucking table. Oh. Ugh. Everything hurt. His back and his shoulders, his head and his eyes, every inch of him felt as if he'd taken a beating. Groaning in discomfort. Yeah, surprise, ER arc. The redhead tried to sit up, surrounded by a vast darkness. He was unsure of where he even was. His head spun with the effort of movement, and a wave of nausea washed over him. Oh, God. Yeah, the ghost lawyer started beating us up. He collapsed back down to what had only been the ground, but even that he wasn't sure of. Soft. Where was he? What happened? He tried to think, but his mind felt dull, like trying to listen to someone speak while underwater. Everything felt so far away, eternally distant. Every time he tried to move or to sit up, electric tendrils spiked through his head, making him wince with pain. I just wanted a hot cat boy. The redhead sighed to himself. More often than not these days, he was plagued. He was plagued by terrible headaches. He was almost getting used to it. Accepting his fate, he surrendered. He'd just sleep wherever he was. There was something different about this. His whole body felt strange, as if it no longer belonged to him. Oh, we're possessed. A faint sound of panic that reached him faded further and further away as he lost consciousness once again. Darkness. It was so dark. Micah felt scared. Yeah, not the amoeba again. Scared and alone. Why? He took a deep breath. The air smelled sweet, like honey. Honey? He couldn't tell if his eyes were open or not. In a place like this, he couldn't tell anything. Where am I? The panic rose, surrounded by a strange darkness and sporting the mother of all headaches. The spikes in pain through his head continued to grow. From the depth of the darkness, the tiny jingle of a bell sounded. Cat? Cat boy? Yeah, was the lawyer another amoeba? One of Neil's children survived and became a lawyer. I'm the first amoeba lawyer. His heart drummed as his empty surroundings closed in on him. He froze in fear. Something soft was touching his face. Amoeba! Interesting. We have a couple options. I'm gonna touch it. Touch it. Yeah, the feeling of this soft touch felt somewhat familiar. The redhead reached out a shaky hand, lightly touching whatever was before him. Soft, fluffy cat boy fur? He let his hand travel the length of the body. Oh, it was covered in fur. Cat! Cat! A cat? What was a cat doing here? The thought of a cat of all things being before him was almost too bizarre to comprehend. Why the fuck's a cat here? Why are we confused? I mean, I guess I'd be confused too, but we're just like, it's a cat. Why the fuck is it a cat? Maybe we're wrong. Maybe it's not a cat. What even is here? Startled from his thoughts, the mysterious creature rubbed its face against his, or at least it felt like a face. A calming purr vibrated through his chest. Yeah, not an amoeba, but a lawyer. Distracted as he was, he hadn't noticed that the longer this creature spent affectionately nuzzling against him, the less painful that feeling in his head became. Correct, purring is at the healing frequency. Slowly, his senses began to return, still dull but no longer excruciating. The feline pulled back, finally allowing Micah to sit up. Swirling color danced before his eyes like dust in moonlight. A glow illuminated the pervasive darkness. His eyes struggled to adjust. His hazel eyes grew wide as his vision finally focused. He saw it! A cat! Cat! Also, kitty, what long fangs you have! Yeah. Amethyst eyes which pierced through the darkness, irradiated a powerful energy. Long fur, fangs, an ethereal form. Yeah, this is a vampire cat. It seemed he was correct about what it was. The why and how still confused him. However, by its appearance, you would never guess it to be as affectionate as it just was. Yeah. It's huge! Fat cat, fat cat, fat cat, fat cat! Its eyes fixed on his as he stared at it. A keen intelligence mixed with what seemed to be concern. Yeah, it shows affection. The pain goes away. It followed his movements with its eyes. Evidence that it's an amoeba. Yeah. Show affection. Pain goes away. Fuck, it's an amoeba. Followed with his eyes. With a swish of its long tail, it closed the gap with an elegant pounce, coming to rest on Micah's lap. Those eyes that stared at him, so vibrant. He wondered if he had ever seen anything more beautiful. Lost in thought about how pretty the amethyst color of this feline's eyes were, Micah was surprised when the creature stretched up its front paws on his chest, nuzzled against his cheek, and licked his forehead. That's very cute. His senses filled with the scent of honey. I mean, I don't know if I describe how cats smell as honey, but there is something addictive about cat smell. I do enjoy putting my face in Kiki's fur and just going rub, 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 rub. Micah raised his hand to his forehead, lightly touching... Oh, we're zooming in! We're zooming in! Lightly touching the spot the feline had just moved away from. It licked me? Yeah, huffing cat belly is fun. Yeah, I wouldn't say it smells like honey. A warmth spread throughout his body from the spot on his forehead. He marveled at the creature. He felt much better. Better than he had in a long time, if he was honest. His body felt light and there was no pain at all anymore. Healing cat. As he examined himself, he once again heard a bell. The creature closed his magnificent eyes, satisfied with its work. He felt like it said something to him, some wordless instruction. What are you? Where am I?
Oh, blessings.
The eyes opened, regarding him with softness that did not belong to such a massive feline, or feline at all. Cats can be soft. And then it simply stood and walked away. Oh no. No, kitty. Blessings again. Micah desperately reached out, trying his best to call out to the disappearing cat. Oh, wait, don't go, kitty! No voice left his throat and carried through the darkness. The only light he had was those eyes. Without them, everything was dark once again. Kitty! Something within him felt almost lonely without the creature, like he'd lost something precious all over again. He closed his eyes. He was suddenly so tired. Faded sound reached Mike as he stirred to consciousness once more. His eyes slowly opened, the light making him squint in response. It was much brighter here than the last time he opened his eyes. His eyes struggled to focus on his surroundings, discovering quickly that there was not much to see. Taking up his entire vision was the blurry face of what could only be his best friend. Micah, oh my god! Ugh, not so loud, my head hurts. It was only then he realized. It didn't. His head didn't hurt, actually. It didn't hurt at all. He reached up and touched his forehead. For the first time in a long time, his head didn't hurt. Fuck. Amoebas. Not since that cat. Is it even possible for pain to be licked away? I mean, you could try. He thought back to what happened, or at least what he thought happened. Was it actually possible for a dream to fix a years-long body ache? I don't know, but if you have any more of those dream cats, send them my way. Was it even a dream? He shook his head. Of course it was a dream. What else could it have been? No, that's stupid. Micah stifled a laugh, looking up towards Leon. So dumb. Me? No, not you. Hey, Leon? Yeah? Thanks. Seriously. Yeah, the cat tongue was laced with Vicodin. I mean, I guess if our headache went away, the cat tongue, each little barb held a inhaled a microdose of Botox. Leon's face went bright red. Don't worry about it. He glanced away shyly, awkwardly fiddling with his tie. Finally. Micah? What happened to you? Great question. What did happen to me? I was hoping you could tell me. How did I get here? I was at where? The cafe. You collapsed. The cafe? What was he doing at the cafe? Thomas said you were acting weird and then collapsed, so he called me and I brought you home. Acting weird. Seriously, are you okay? Did you see a magic giant drug cat? Because I did, and I feel so much better. Leon's like, fuck, the amoebas. Yeah, I'm fine. I feel completely normal. That was a lie, of course. What was he supposed to say? I collapsed at the cafe after having a meeting with an invisible man, then woke up to a dark void with a monstrous cat that fixed my headaches. And no, I did not consume any strange mushrooms on the way over. Yeah, that would go down well. Normal people don't pass out for no reason. I mean, true. Leon seemed unconvinced as he frowned deeply. Hey, did I have anything with me when you brought me back? Like, what? I don't think so, but I wasn't exactly worried about your things when you were sprawled out on the ground like that. Well, wait, if I collapsed, why bring me back to the apartment? Why not the hospital or something? I panicked, okay? And I didn't want to call your aunt either. Micah's eyes went wide in surprise. His aunt. What does she know? Did she know anything? Mr. Harris didn't seem too keen on her at all. In fact, it wouldn't have been an understatement to say he disliked her. Mr. Harris! A delayed reaction, if he'd ever had one. Oh, who? Calm down, Micah. You aren't well. No, I'm fine. The magical drug cat healed me. The magical drug cat healed me. Please do not call the authorities. Yeah. Micah jumped off the living room couch he'd been placed on, bouncing to his feet. I'm sorry, I have to go back to the cafe for something important. Thanks for everything. Micah, wait! Of course, despite Leon's words, Micah didn't wait. He almost sprinted to the door, slamming it behind him in his rush. If he had, he might have just seen the complex expression his friend wore. He might have seen the guilt, the concern. Micah threw open the door to the cafe, startling a few customers seated near the door, and headed straight for the table he'd last been at. So focused on finding what he left behind, he walked straight past Thomas. The table still sat empty. No one sat in either seat. Mr. Harris was nowhere in sight either. Not that he expected otherwise. Empty. Where was it? Oh. Water. Yeah, drug cats just fucking dose you directly. He knew it was pointless. It was impossible for something to be this hidden in the booths, but he didn't know where else to look. Oh, he scanned the top of the table before squatting to see underneath, feeling the seats to make sure nothing fell, got stuck anywhere. So focused was he on finding his letter that he completely ignored Thomas calling out his name. It wasn't until the large hand grasped his shoulder did he stop looking. Micah, calm down, what's wrong? First you freak out about a missing stranger, then you collapse on my floor, and now you come busting in here like the devil's on your tail. This isn't like you, Micah sighed quietly. I'm looking for a letter. It's important to me. Really important. Oh, a letter? You mean this? Out of his apron, he pulled a letter, its wax seal carefully closed once again. Ugh. Sorry, I got stretched for a moment. My shoulder is bothering me again, and also my hair is long and it's hot and annoying. Who knew that if you have long, dark-colored hair, it gets hot? I mean, I assume that even if your hair was light-colored, having long hair would be hot. Oh, there we go. I thought you might come back for it. You were reading it like nothing else existed. I've never seen you so focused, and I've known you for a while now. An inexplicable relief washed over Micah. Yes, that's it! Any moment now, he felt as if he burst into tears. Oh, Thomas, I could kiss you! You'd have to get the missus' permission for that. Would she give me permission? Thomas put a hand on Micah's shoulder once more, squeezing tight. His deep green eyes held such worry and sympathy as he gazed at the younger man, the furrow to his brow betraying his calm demeanor. Micah, why don't you take a few days off? I'll talk to Mur and let her know you got some things to take care of. I'm not being fired, am I? Something he hadn't considered possible suddenly filled his entire being with a level of fear he didn't realize was possible. Could he really lose his job over this? Was he acting that out of control? He wasn't going crazy, was he? I mean, of course he was. He was seeing things, his behavior frantic. No one would want that for their business. The chef's face morphed from concern to pure shock. His grip on the redhead's shoulder tightened to an almost painful level. The blue-haired man spun Micah to face him, serious eyes catching Micah's gaze uncomfortably directly. What? No, of course not. Never. You're part of our little family here and always will be. You're like a little brother to Mary. I'm a little hurt you think we do that. The man sighed, releasing his iron grip on the trembling shoulders. Thomas always caught Micah off guard with just how strong he really was. Much stronger than a chef had any right to be. Prison chef. Are you okay? I'm not gonna lie, kid, you're kind of worrying me. Micah smiled. He did feel like part of the family here. Mary and Thomas had treated him very well. He felt bad for worrying him, but at the same time, he felt a bit reassured as well. He didn't actually know how a loving family acted, but he was pretty sure it was how his bosses acted. Right, boss or not, they've always been there. Even before I started working here, they were good friends. Micah's eyes wandered towards the booth he'd eaten Thomas's delicious food at earlier that day. Yeah, very sad sentence. The very same booth he had received a letter from Arthur only moments later. It already felt so long ago. He gathered from the cafe that he hadn't been out too long, but it was long enough for Leon to get to the cafe and back to his apartment. For him, it felt like both a moment and an eternity. So no one saw the drug cat. Just me, okay. I'm not sure, to be honest. I think my life just exploded, but I don't think I can even explain it. Thomas just nodded thoughtfully. He wasn't going to press the redhead for information he wasn't ready to give. Just promise that once you figure everything out that's bothering you, you come tell me, all right? We're here for you. I always will be. Looking Thomas directly in the face, Micah nodded. I promise. With his promise given, he clutched the envelope to his chest and headed for the door. Thomas waved him off, his concerned green eyes following the redhead as his back disappeared into the cityscape. Oh. Kid saw the drug cat, didn't he? Shit. Our nobody questioned our shop's mascot until the drug cat started popping up. Letter in hand, Micah returned to his apartment, not once letting the precious envelope out of his sight. He wondered if Leon would still be there when he arrived. He would have to apologize to him for running off as he did. I should apologize to him. He went out of his way to look after me, and I just took off. The door was unlocked, thankfully, as he'd rushed out the door with no phone or keys. His apartment was dark, save for the corner lamp. His eyes scanned around the room and searched for Leon, but he was already gone. No Leon in sight. He could only assume that both the door and the light was Leon's doing. Thanks for leaving my house unlocked, Leon! Micah made his way over to the couch, plopping down onto the comfortable cushions. Wow. As he sat down to read the letter he retrieved from the cafe, he noticed a hastily scrambled note on the coffee table. I had to go, but I hope you feel better now. Call me if you need anything. 3, 4, 5 underlines under anything. He really meant anything. Hi, Leon. I was visited by a drug cat. Do you know what to do in this situation? Leon's handwriting was terrible, so for him to have left a note meant he must have noticed that Micah didn't have his phone. His handwriting is not that terrible. He really notices everything, doesn't he? With a deep breath, Micah opened the envelope once again. My dearest Micah. You are in danger! I immediately was like, what? Oh, okay, you're in danger. My dearest Micah. There's too much to say in a simple letter, but a letter it must be. If my charm was successful, then you have no memory of me or the place you must go. What do you mean? Forgive my flair for dramatics, but if you're reading this, it means I'm no longer in this world and that this charm is now starting to fail. Few words fit within the confines of a page, and the words I have for you are many, but let me be brief. You are in danger. Be wary, little one. There is much in this world beyond comprehension. Would that I had the chance to explain it all in person. With this letter, you will find a most precious deed. Go there. You will understand everything once you do. Thanks, Grandpa. I love your I've made you forget about everything. You're in danger. Why'd you make me forget then? I'm so sorry, my dear boy. I failed you. I can only hope my last act will keep you safe. With love, with regret, with hope. Gregory Riley, your grandfather. Over and over again, he read the words, more times than he could even count, waiting for some epiphany to spring from the words, revealing their true meaning to him. Unfortunately for him, reading them again didn't make the letter make any more sense. Charm? Memory? In danger? He was in danger? What did it mean? It was true he had very little memory of his childhood, but was this why? Was something done to him? I mean, yeah. Why did he feel such a sense of anxiety and doom from this letter? He was only little when he came to it too in the hospital and had no notable injuries either, and the doctors couldn't identify a cause for his memories. And if Aunt Caroline knew, she certainly wasn't sharing. His heart was racing, beating like a drum in his head. He had to know. There was no other choice but to know, to find out the truth. A detail caught his wondering mind. The letter talked about a deed. Wasn't there something else with the letter? Did I imagine it? He closed his eyes and tried to visualize when he got the letter. Yeah, you remember the fucking deed? We forgot the deed? I got a call from a lawyer, a man named Mr. Arthur Harris. He said he knew my grandfather and something for my father. We met at the cafe. He gave me two things, a sealed letter addressed to me and a document with the name Magnus Inn written on it. When I looked up from the documents, Mr. Harris was gone. That's all he could remember. He must have collapsed immediately after that. Yeah, they experimented on us. We have become Yowie Jesus. Magnus Inn. The name alone gave him a tingling feeling at the base of his skull. That could only be the deed the letter spoke of. They were together, after all. But where is said deed? Where did it go, though? Thomas didn't give it to him. His entire body felt heavy. Too many things had happened that day. He wasn't sure how it all happened in only one day. Yeah, our hair is already starting to turn blue. Yet, as impossible as it all seemed, it had happened that day, and what an incredible day it was. Not only had he learned something new about his family, but he'd had not one, but two impossible encounters. The invisible lawyer and drug cat? I guess. Strange things were always occurring around him. Shadows in the corner of his vision, strange intuition about people. Animals really liked him, or perhaps more accurately, cats really liked him. Which was fine with him. He also loved cats, so much so he got teased for it by everyone who knew him. The other stuff he was more than happy to leave behind. I'll take the cat love. He thought back to the letter he so religiously read, signed by Edwin Riley, and his heart soared. He had always known this letter was his father. What? This letter was his father? Letter! You are my father! How did you impregnate my mother? Okay. He truly had proof of it now. Yeah, our mom fucked a letter. If only he knew who Arthur really was. His eager eyes traveled across the page yet again. While he learned nothing new, understanding it no more than he did a few minutes ago, he felt different. Well, he'd almost given up on ever learning his history, who he was, where he came from. He was grateful to his aunt. He really was. He didn't dislike her. He loved her immensely, in fact, even when he didn't show it. But she couldn't stop him now. With a renewed determination, he would follow the path which had been hand-delivered to him. He would find the deed. He would learn the truth about Arthur. He would discover all that had been hidden from him. He had to know, no matter the consequences. Holy shit. The drug cat is back and hungry. The redhead's eyes went wide as the sound of his stomach squealed through the empty apartment. Right, I haven't eaten since Thomas fed me this afternoon. I wonder what time it even is now. I should grab some grub before I pass out again. I guess I got some canvassing to do. He stated his plans aloud to no one, but still he took comfort in having something to make a plan about. Can I take your order? Have you seen anything you like, darling?
I want a strawberry cupcake.
Sweetie, one strawberry cupcake on its way. Anything for yourself, madam? Just a latte for me, please, dear. The personable redhead greeted his customers as he always did, equipped with a welcoming smile and sunny, attentive personality. If one didn't know about the turmoil rocking his life, there was no way to find it on his features. Customer service! Micah laughed and returned momentarily with their order. While there were other servers at the cafe, after all, he couldn't be there all the time. He was by far the most popular. Several days had passed since the redhead's faithful meeting with Arthur Harris, and it was another slow day at the cafe. Even though he had gotten permission and insistence that he take a few days off, he couldn't tolerate any more resting, and if he was honest, he had nowhere else to go in his search. He had scoured the cafe for the deed once more, but found no luck. He'd wondered where it could have gone, if not here. There were no other logical options for it to be. Did someone take it? But who could have? A thought he kept coming back to. To make matters worse, he hadn't seen Leon since that day in the apartment either, and he wasn't replying to his texts anymore. It was starting to make him worry. That wasn't like Leon at all. Usually he couldn't stay away if he tried. He'd be lying if he said he wasn't deeply worried about him. Oh, things got so strange in such a short amount of time. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the backgrounds constantly shifting. Like, I understand you don't want static images for crazy long times when it's just the background, but whew, does it kind of make me feel it's gonna start making me motion sick pretty soon. The days passed as any others. Micah lost in thought at the cafe during the day, barely sleeping at night. Life went on as normal despite him feeling anything but. He spent his free time doing what research he could. A few more days passed with no response from Leon and a few more sleepless nights. Before Micah knew it, he'd stumbled through a whole fortnight. Yeah, I'm pretty certain if I remember correctly that this studio is Australian because I don't know any American English person who uses fortnight to mean the time period. Yeah, it's just when it's constant. It's constantly moving. Oh boy, it's never good news when she calls. Better get this over and done with. Aunt Caroline! I could just hang up! Hello? Micah, I'm going to be forwarding a package to you. I need you to sign it and send it back to me immediately. Straight to business as usual. Not even a hello. What is it? It doesn't matter what it is, Micah. It doesn't concern you. All you need to do is sign it when delivered and give it back to the courier. What? I'm sorry. No way in hell am I just gonna sign something randomly. This is very important, so you must listen to me, all right? Do you understand? You must do as I've instructed. If it doesn't concern me, why do I have to sign it? Yeah, right, okay, I got it. He rolled his eyes. She was always like this, impossible to talk to. He had to stop himself from laughing at the thought that she might somehow be able to tell. It wouldn't have surprised him. I don't appreciate your attitude. Now is not the time. But as long as you understand that this is time sensitive and demands your immediate attention, you may go. Maybe she could tell. Yeah. Micah flinched awkwardly. Yeah. At the words. He felt like a naughty puppy whimpering before a brandished newspaper whenever he even slightly talked back to Caroline. Before Micah could respond, the call ended. Oh, Redhead sighed. She was always like this, fully focused on business and work. She treated him more like an incompetent employee than a nephew. Still, this must be important if she actually took the time out of her day and called for it. What was more, she sounded stressed. Not that it was unusual for her, but it left him feeling uneasy, unsettled nonetheless. He wondered what this important thing that didn't concern him was. What did it actually have to do with him? Despite her claim to not concern him, it clearly required his signature personally. Something about her words sent a shiver down his spine, as if every fiber of his being was screaming out for him to not sign whatever it was. Also, I just noticed, do we have heterochromia? Oh. You are in danger. Oh. Hey, remember that ominous warning from the letter? The words from that letter sprung to his mind as he frowned at his thoughts. Danger, huh? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, actually that actually made me jump. Micah jumped in surprise, the hair on the back of his arm rising alarm. A phone call from Caroline someone at the door. Surely wasn't This is our fucking doorbell. What is it now? He really need to get that fixed. No, surely not. His eyes darted towards the front door. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, I hate that. I hate that noise. That actually made me have a fucking rush of adrenaline. So give me 1 second, because I gotta come down from that. Yeah, that felt more like a fucking fire alarm. Okay. We're all good. His eyes darted towards the front door, the unsettled feeling growing stronger as he cautiously approached. He opened the door slowly, waiting to see who it was. He kept the door firmly between him and the outside. Some small part of him hoped it would be Leon. Thank you for help, he desperately wanted this visitor to be his best friend, crawling back out of where he'd been hiding. He knew, of course, that the probability of such a thing was near zero. Sure enough, a man in a suit carrying a briefcase was at his door. Neither the suit nor the body in it belonged to his friend. Standing before him was a tall, pale man. He wore his dark hair slicked back with entirely too much gel and an irritated expression. He looked annoyed to be there. Rude to show up at someone's door looking like you're the inconvenience. His chestnut eyes regarded the redhead with disdain. There was something extremely unsettling about this man. Before Micah could open his mouth to ask who exactly the man was, he was already speaking. Micah Riley, Niles Nell. I am an associate of your Aunt Caroline. Niles Nell? Wow. Your parents hated you, huh? Also, no Sprite. Blessings. I don't trust this man as far as I could throw him. I assume she called ahead and let you know my coming. Yeah, I just got off the phone with... Excellent. Let's get this over with. Business awaits. He didn't wait to be invited in. Pushing past Micah, he He entered the apartment. I didn't invite you in, motherfucker. You can't just go entering people's houses. Already opening his case and laying out a document pen on the coffee table. Oh, yeah, sure, come on in. This is what you call forwarding a package? Yeah. All I need from you is your signature here, here, and here, and I'll be on my merry way. What am I signing exactly? Micah frowned at the man. The smug expression on his face set the redhead's nerves on edge. All you need to do is sign. I'm sure your beloved aunt can explain it to you later. That's exactly what Aunt Caroline said. He hesitated. Something about this seemed wrong. The entire situation made his skin crawl. He didn't like it. Why keep it a secret from him? Just what was he signing? May I at least read the conditions on which I'm signing my name to? I'm a very busy man, young Mr. Riley. I had assumed this would be quick when I agreed to this task for Caroline. He doesn't want me to know what this is. Aunt Caroline, what is this? He wasn't graced with time to think about his decision. The only thing he could do was not sign. You are in danger. I love our options are sign, don't sign, ruin contract. No. Redhead frowned. All these orders made him feel like a ragdoll being tossed around. Also, we're an adult. We're an adult. He didn't appreciate being treated like this in his own home. There's no use arguing. Right, no use arguing, but that didn't mean he would just do as he was told. After all, he didn't even know what he was engaging in. Really, his aunt should know better than to expect this of him. He shook the thought away. Whatever her intentions were, that didn't change this man before him. He'd made his choice on how to deal with this document put before him. The suited man wasn't going to like it, though. Very well, Mr. Nell, you have my deepest apologies for inconveniencing you. The man didn't look convinced. The defiant expression on the redhead, the most likely culprit for that. Instead, he simply handed Micah the pen and indicated again where Micah was to sign. Micah leaned down to sign, however. Micah smiled to himself. He was going to get in trouble for this, but just maybe it would be worth it. Stepping away, Micah handed the documents back to the man, a slight smile hidden beneath his stone expression. Here, you'll be needing these. Nell's face darkened as his eyes fell into the documents Micah handed back to him. His chestnut eyes scanned the document the redhead offered him, a scowl forming as those eyes fell upon the spaces he had been instructed to sign. Also, couldn't we have just read the document while it was in front of us? Even just skimmed it? We literally just took the document and then handed it. We didn't even take a moment. All remained untouched by ink. Though a strained face of professionalism, Micah could see his seething irritation. If the young man was honest with himself, he was feeling quite pleased by the reaction. Would you care to explain, Caroline? Micah wasn't about to let him control this. Well, Aunt Caroline taught me to never sign what I don't understand. She was the one who sent me here. He was angry now. There was something murderous behind those eyes. Murderous? If nothing else, it appeared he's not used to not getting his way. Then you can tell her she taught me well. If you'll excuse me, you are in my home, uninvited, and I have work to do. More accurately, he had research to do. She'll be very disappointed in you. Probably. Farewell, Mr. Nell. It would appear you've wasted your time after all. With a polite but satisfied smile, he led the unwelcome man from his home, closing the door in his face with a resounding thud. Michael let out the breath he'd been holding. He wasn't a confrontational person, but he wasn't about to be pushed around in his own home either. While he still had the energy of the encounter, he braced himself for the inevitable response call from his aunt. He didn't take long. He assumed Niles Nell called her immediately on leaving. Nope. Nope. Fuck, should know she wouldn't give up. She's gonna be pissed. I can't. Okay, fine. Explain yourself. Here we go. I was taught to never sign what I didn't understand, Aunt Caroline. There's nothing else to it. What you did was incredibly immature. Leaving all the signatures blank, Micah. Why would you do this? Yeah, you have no idea what you've done. She sounded distressed, annoyed, and disappointed, but distressed nonetheless. A curious response from someone with her personality. An opportunity presented itself to the young man, a door slightly ajar, just enough to peek through. He had her here. If she was going to ask unreasonable things, he might as well attempt to learn something from it. Time to get some answers about my life. Aunt Caroline, why didn't you want me to read it before signing it? There's no time for that, Micah. Don't turn this around. We're talking about... He didn't let her finish. What's Magnus in? Silence. A deafening silence that stretched on for so long it became uncomfortable. So you do know, after all. I might not have given a chance to read through the contract. Oh, we did skim it, but I did pick up some keywords. But I did pick out some keywords when I pretended to sign it. A sales contract for an abandoned property on the outskirts of town, right? Yes, it belongs to our family. However, the upkeep of the property is too much of a hassle, so your uncle and I've decided to sell it. But I'm the one who has to sign for it. That doesn't make sense, Aunt Caroline. Drop it, Micah, please. There's nothing of value there anyway. Her voice was strained. Something about it bothered Micah. She was too eager, almost desperate to convince him. There's something significant about this, but what? She's lying. I want to see it. No, Micah, all you need to do is sign the contract and we can be rid of the infernal place. Please, for your own good, just listen to me for once and do as I ask. I don't want to. I don't want to! Just what is she hiding? What could possibly exist in our family that she wants it gone so badly? She almost seems scared. No, I won't. Micah! I'm sorry, Aunt Caroline, I can't do that. He hung up. Oh! Hell yeah. He hadn't wanted to cause such drama with his aunt. Yeah, I don't wanna! But he also couldn't keep going the way he was. He could theoretically rationalize that she was protecting him from something, but if that were true, why not just tell him? He thought back to the letter, specifically its warning about him being in danger. Was this related? Whatever it was, Aunt Caroline knew what it was. She knew and was refusing to tell him. Always in the dark about his own life. Magnus Inn. What are you? Where are you? Micah yawned. He'd been slouched in front of his computer, digging through the internet for any mention of a Magnus Inn for the better part of a day. Yeah, nobody ever tells us fucking anything. He was used to research. He searched for things like this for fun. This one was proving particularly elusive, however. His brain hurt. He hadn't come up with any results in his searches over the past few weeks, but this might have been the break he so desperately needed. The one clue he had to link him to his childhood. He had managed to find out about the sale of a certain Magnus Inn from faking out his signatures, and now he knew his address. So why are you just going there? I wonder, could Leon know anything about this? It sounded a lot like that old place he mentioned before. Maybe it's connected? He hesitated as his hand hovered over the contact button on his phone. By this point, there must have been dozens of unanswered messages to Leon. Yeah. Still, it couldn't hurt to try. Best he responded, and he's able to help. Worst? He didn't want to think about the worst. Oh. Text? Oh, map. Sorry, text. Hey, dude. I need to talk to you. Can you please message me? Didn't think so. Maybe you won't respond. Oh! A message! Leon is typing. I thought What's up? Dude! It's kinda hard to explain over text. Can you meet me at the cafe tomorrow? After my shift? Yeah, sure, I can do that. Thanks, man. And hey, have you been doing all right? Haven't heard from you much lately. Typing a long time. Oh, yeah, I'm doing just fine. Just been busy with the new job and stuff. It'll blow over soon. All right, just take care of yourself. I don't know. Will do. See you tomorrow. I mean, I use exclamation points in texting, not really periods. So he's alive after all. Micah placed his phone down on the table, staring at his messages. Something really does seem off about him. At least he's agreed to meet me tomorrow. Still, Micah was just happy to finally get a response. Oh, double blessings. Deep down, Micah just hoped it wasn't him that had done something to make him so distant. Something was really bothering him. I've known him for ages and never seen him act like this. He spent the rest of the night the same way he spent most of his day, researching the town's rural outskirts for property that might match the very little information he had about the Magnus Inn. But don't we literally have an address? Oh, okay. No exact matches. The address he saw in the documents Nell had didn't seem to match anything in Lobner. Oh, okay. We live at a place called Lobner. But it was a Lobner Provenance? Oh, it was a Lobner Providence address. Okay. What he did find were some local ghost stories about the ancient forest behind the old shrine grounds. Ghosts. Province. Huh. Yeah, provenance is interesting. He loved the stories and the history behind ghost tales, but the thought of actual ghosts was too terrifying to imagine. He didn't really know why he was so afraid of ghosts specifically. His leading theory was growing up being able to see things others couldn't. See might not have even been the correct word, for he never actually saw anything clearly, just shadows out of the corner of his eyes, feelings of being watched. He hated it. It would be just his luck for his family to own something haunted, though, wouldn't it? He logged off his computer and sighed, sleepily making his way towards the bed. If he kept reading these, he'd never sleep, and that was something he already had trouble enough doing. Looking up at his dark bedroom ceiling, he mulled over all the recent discoveries and what more was in store here. All the recent discoveries and what more was in store for him. His eyelids started to feel heavy, the weight of the day's events heavy on his weary body. Hello? What's up with... Oh, Micah, my dear Micah, you can't hide from me forever. Who are you, sir? The redhead was ripped from his sleep by a scream. Covered in sweat, skin trembling, Micah felt as though he had a hand around his throat. Whoa, we need to talk about that before you just start doing that. I don't think I have a favorite cryptid. I'm not super into cryptids. As he struggled to breathe, he rolled out of bed and hit the floor with a thump. We just fell out of our bed? Slightly dazed, he stared around his room. What was that? It was like something powerful. Something that didn't want me here. No, not here. Something that didn't want me to exist. Oh, as if his entire existence was being threatened. Does cryptid count? Yeah, does J count? Does J count? I don't think J counts as a cryptid. I don't know. We'll see. I'll go to her wedding in a few years. He reached up to turn his alarm off. 5:58? Oh, he still had 2 minutes before it even went off in the first place. Well, okay, so that's not terrible then. A nightmare then. It felt so real. He touched his throat. It didn't seem injured, but he could still feel the menacing tendrils wrapped around his neck like a vice, although he knew this was only in his mind. Shake it off, Micah. It's just your imagination. Lots has happened. Lots have happened. Lots have happened. A lot has happened. We're just going to change the grammar of that sentence completely. A lot has happened, and you were reading ghost stories last night, remember? It's all in my head. I'm talking to myself now. Maybe I really am going crazy. Maybe I should look for another roommate. No. Live alone. Micah yawned as he finished cleaning the last table for the day. The day had been busy. Customers filled the entirety of the cafe, and everyone was rushed off of their feet. But he was glad in a way. Being busy was exhausting, but it left little time for thoughts other than what was happening in front of you. And after the night he had, he needed that. Hey, stranger, long time no see. Hey yourself. So, what's up? You said you needed to talk? Is something wrong? Not wrong, just kind of weird, you know? Weird? It seems to be going around. Nothing. Speaking of weird, let's sit. We haven't seen each other in ages. Aw, ages is a bit of an overstatement. They took a seat each, Leon nervously glancing at the door before correcting himself and focusing on Micah. He looks like he's about to run away. Hey man, I know I'm the one that called you here, and I asked already last night, but are you doing all right? You're looking kind of rough. Yeah, don't worry about it. Work's just kind of busy as all. Not much time to unwind, you know? Plus, I'm the newbie, so I get all the crap jobs. It'll pass. Sorry for worrying you. Crap jobs in the real estate empire his father owns? I guess his dad's a major jerk. Work, I actually wanted to ask you about work. Leon's eyes widened in surprise. You mentioned a while back about the house you were looking at that your old man was real keen on. Where exactly was it? Why do you want to know? Whoa. Why is everyone really, specific about this house? His voice suddenly changed. Before he sounded nervous, but now he sounded borderline aggressive. It was a surprising switch, to say the least. Mike had never heard him use that kind of tone before, especially not to him. Yeah. Shit, I'm sorry that came out wrong. You just surprised me. He offered a weak smile. Are you sure you're okay? Yeah, just tired. Father's obsessed with that place. Now you're asking about it too. He sighed heavily and slumped back in his chair. It's creepy. I feel like it's watching me and it doesn't like me. At all. Plus it gives me wicked allergies. The house doesn't like you? Well, it's not really a house. More like, I'm not sure, some kind of manor maybe? It's huge, but it looks like it doesn't see living people there for years. I'm so curious all of a sudden. Ask about the Magnus. Should I tell him the real truth? We're not gonna be able to keep up a lie. I haven't seen you for a while, thought it'd be nice to catch up. Definitely not trying to get info out of you. Nope, never. Really? You sound so suspicious. Yeah, I've been thinking about the place you went to when you started lately. It didn't seem like much then, but it's got me curious. You've been thinking about that. Why? I came across something recently. Oh, like what? Maybe I should risk it? We're friends, and he might know. I was researching and found this old rural place, which sounded just like the place you went to. Where? Micah took a deep breath. I have to ask. It's called the Magnus Inn. Have you ever heard of it? Leon froze. Don't, Micah. Why does everyone know but us? Why does everyone know but us? Leon jumped to his feet, slamming his hands down on the table between them. Micah stared back at him in surprise. What? What do you mean, don't? Leon's expression changed as he finally realized his outburst. From pure outrage to shock, he composed himself and returned to his seat. You just stay away from that place. He does know then. I was right. Micah waited for Leon to continue, giving him an encouraging smile. Leon sighed, rubbing his temple and giving Micah a pleading look. It's weird. I can't explain it. It feels menacing, like there's something there that wants to hurt you. The house doesn't like you. Yes, exactly. Micah, please stay away from it. He sounded so desperate. Are you sure you're okay? You seem genuinely freaked out about this place. Don't you think you're overacting a little? I love how we're almost 2 hours in and we haven't seen a single boy yet. I want boys. Well, okay, well, we've seen I want to see the cat boy. I have no choice. It's my job now. I can't disappoint him. Micah frowned. Disappoint who? His dad? Someone else? Your dad? I have to go, but please just promise me you won't go there. It's not safe. You are in danger. The words seemed to flash before his eyes. Those same words, always. Yeah, Truck-kun is really waiting. Really biding his time. Micah, promise. I can't promise that. He was so close. I mean, we're just dropping saves everywhere. I can't promise that. I'm sorry, Leon. I can't promise you that. I know, Micah. You forget how well I know you. Once you find something interesting, you'll chase it down until you understand everything about it. Something like that, yeah. There's something about this place that I just have to see. They laugh awkwardly, the building tension between them melting slightly. Leon made no move to leave. Instead, he closed his eyes and inhaled slowly and deeply before exhaling as he opened his eyes. Shush. Oh, okay. What? His bright blue eyes looked darker than usual, a tent set to his jaw. I have something to give you. Oh! He took it! He took the fucking deed! And I apologize for taking it. I was trying to protect you, but now I see it's useless. Yep. He's so serious. It's a bit spooky. Just what's going on here? Out of his briefcase, he pulled the class paper document envelope. A legal envelope? Wait, that looks familiar. With uncertain hands, Leon pushed the envelope towards Micah across the table. His eyes never left Micah, his anxiety visibly building the closer he pushed the envelope. Micah tilted his head, watching the envelope with confused apprehension. He had a striking sense of deja vu all of a sudden. As it got closer, there was no doubting it any longer. He recognized that envelope. Yeah, I don't know, but that's really shitty to do. It was the same one Mr. Harris gave him. The exact same one. I knew it. The envelope that held the deed to Magazine. But why does Leon have it? Why does Leon have it, you say? Who was the one person who came to pick you up from the cafe when you had both items and then you no longer had both items? It was Leon. The envelope came to stop in front of him. Leon's hands were trembling as he pulled back across the table. Micah stared at the package in front of him, dumbfounded. Leon, why? How? His voice cracked despite his best effort to keep his tone neutral. Why do you have this? I'm so sorry. Leon didn't wait for Micah's response. He rose from his seat. He rose from his seat and rushed to the door. Fucking running away? Barely getting the door open before squeezing through it. Left in a daze, Micah stared down at the document in front of him. Like a broken string or on an instrument, his attention suddenly snapped back as the ring of the door chime sounded. Leon! Wait, no, come back! Answer me, damn it! Rushing to stand, he tripped on the edge of the table. Shit. Freezing, he turned and grabbed the document left discarded on the table. Can't lose you again. Had enough trouble getting you back in the first place. Micah barreled through the door, desperately searching for Leon. He was gone. Damn it. Hours of wandering the streets, and Micah was sure he must have covered the entire city in search of Leon. Finally, the redhead admitted defeat. Yeah. Leon's phone went straight to voicemail, and once again he wasn't responding to any messages. In his rush, Micah hadn't even changed out of his work uniform. It was already late when he got back to the cafe to get changed. He returned to a look of deep concern from Thomas as he was preparing to close for the evening. Mike hadn't realized just how much time he spent looking. Trouble in paradise? We're not dating. All right, enough weirdness. Time to tell me what's been going on with you. Mayor and I are also concerned. Should I? I'm not sure you believe me. Hell, I don't even believe me. Try me. You'd be surprised. Micah took a deep breath, preparing himself for how crazy he was about to sound. So I ran into a invisible lawyer, and then I met Drug Cat, and then he knew in his heart that Thomas would never turn him away, and it would be nice to talk to someone about everything. Okay, I'll tell you. Maybe you can help me figure it all out. Thomas walked over to the front door, turned the open sign to close, then locked it so no one could interrupt. Floor's all yours. Mayor's headed home already, but give me a sec to let her know I'll be late tonight, and I'll finish up here later. Let me help tidy up first. You got a deal. Micah and Thomas got to work cleaning and packing down the cafe for the night. It didn't matter what time of day it was, the cafe was always perfectly lit. Yeah. Micah often found himself losing track of what daylight was outside. It never failed to surprise him. When Micah had finished with the floors, Thomas was wiping down the bench bar. He sat down opposite him, absentmindedly fiddling with the envelope he'd been carrying around all this time. Thomas waited patiently for him to speak. Okay, so I guess I should start with some background context, or else this is gonna make no sense at all. Mysteries of Micah revealed. I'm all ears. His teasing tone and the twinkle in his eyes betrayed just how excited he was to learn more about the redhead. Well, you know, I was raised by my aunt, yeah? Caroline? I've heard a thing or two. Well, she's all I've ever really known in my family since she picked me up at the hospital as a kid. How old are we talking here? Like 8 or so, I think? Thomas made a face that could only be read as "you poor thing." Anyway, I had this letter growing up, a letter she didn't know about, addressed to me from an Edwin Riley. I didn't really recognize the name, but it feels special to me, you know? She didn't know? There was doubt in his voice. Well, if she did, she never mentioned it, which would be out of character for her. I see. I have this one memory from before the accident, whatever it was that landed me in the hospital. I'm pretty sure it's my dad, but all I can see is a blurry face in the rain. You don't know what the accident was? Nope, Aunt Caroline would never talk about it. Must be tough. A few weeks ago, I got a call looking for Edwin Riley. The man on the phone said he had something for him, and when I told him that was my dad, he agreed to meet me here. The chef nodded along as he listened, slowly putting puzzle pieces together in his mind. That's the vanishing man? Yeah, that's right. A lawyer named Arthur Harris. We met here and talked a bit before he gave me this. He laid his hands on the document in front of him. It's a deed to a property on the outskirts of town called Magnus Inn, and a letter addressed to me from Gregory Riley. Oh, the ad. We're gonna keep going after this because I at least want to get to a boy. I at least want to get to one of the other boys. I need it. Ugh, we're up to 70% humidity. Sub. Alrighty. Yeah, then 4 hours later. Ugh. Goodness. Ooh. Yawn. Yawn. Very. I mean, I'm liking this game. You could tell it's a demo. It's a little rough around the edges. Some of the grammar is a little... Some of the writing is a little, like, I could tell it needs, like, 2 or 3 more beta passes. But nothing is... nothing's bad. Yeah, there's a fine line between yawn and yawn. Correct. It's extremely fine and easy to lose track of. Alright, everything is still going well. I am... I'm excited. Tomorrow's gonna come and I'm gonna be... yeah, it's apparently a demo. I think, like, they mostly, you know, work on, like, the prologue and stuff, and then, you know, they use the prologue as the demo. Like, for Lost in Limbo, the prologue was the demo. Like, it gets to where you choose your route, and then it goes, bam. But yeah, there's a few other games that I've been looking at on... There's a few on Kickstarter. I backed 2 of them, I think. And then there's a couple more that I am looking at, interested in. And I still want to play Chromatic Agape, but that's also a demo. It's the current demo is half the prologue. So yeah, this definitely, I'm not used to playing demos. I usually play when it's full because I often forget what happens during demos, and then when I play the full game, I just end up playing everything that I played in the demo again, and then I'm like, huh? Well, everything feels weirdly similar, huh? I just have a brain fart, and I just sit there thinking. But we'll see. Very interested in how things go, though. All right, back to this. And a letter addressed to me from Gregory Riley. It says he's my grandfather, and he's left me his inn as inheritance. It also says I'm in danger, but he doesn't need to know that. When I went to ask him more, the man was gone. An exasperated laugh escaped Micah, but apparently no one else saw him, so I still don't know what to think about that. Arthur Paris, are you sure that was his name? He frowned, extremely bothered by the information presented to him. Fuck, do you know something? Something wrong? It's just Arthur Harris. It's not possible. Unless there's another? I guess it's a pretty common name. Oh boy. More people who know more about our past than us. He started to mutter the longer his sentence went on, deep in thought. Middle-aged, dark complexion, sort of grayish hair, Sue. Any of that ring a bell? Huh. It sure sounds like him, Micah. Arthur Paris. He was indeed a lawyer, and he looked exactly how you described him. But he died 15 years ago! What? But Micah's head was spinning. What did this mean? How is this even possible? Neither of us asked for ID. I didn't ask for ID to prove that he was who he said he was. He didn't ask for ID to prove I was who I said I was. Ghost lawyer. Chuck fucking hell. He was my godfather. Great man, a little weird, and he did know a Gregory Riley. They were great friends, in fact. He stayed often at the establishment Gregory owned, although I never knew where it was. But that's not possible. I did say you looked like you'd seen a ghost. Micah went pale, all the blood draining from his face. Yeah. A ghost? But he gave me this. This is real. Leon had it. Yeah, about that. How did Leon have it? What happened this afternoon? Yeah, that's why I've been looking for him. He buried his face in his hands, full of confusion. The first and last time I saw it was the same day it was given to me, but then I collapsed and I lost track of it. You gave me back the letter, but the deed was gone. Oh, the letter was on the table you were at when Leon left with you, but there's nothing else. Maybe he picked up the deed? He said there was nothing there, though. Why would he lie? He must have. Well, as I see it, there's only one thing to do. Find Leon? Go to Magnus. Micah looked up in shock. Go to Magnus? Why not? You won't find any interest stressing around here. You're right. Everything seems to lead back to that place. Leon begged me to stay away from it before he bolted, but I have to see it for myself. A firm hand clasped his shoulder. Be careful, Mai, but do what you gotta do. I don't understand any of this. It seems impossible. The hand squeezed. And yet, it's very real to you. Well, you know what? That's the sweetest thing you could have said. I can't explain it, but somehow you know about the Arthur Harris I knew, and it seems tied to your family. So go figure out your mysteries. We'll be okay here without you for a while. He's really too good to me. Mike had always been grateful to Thomas and Mary. They had looked out for him even before he started working at Merriment. He really didn't know what he did to fluke such amazing people. Yeah, well, it's the sweetest way because what you're like, wow, that doesn't seem like it's real, but it's very real to you. So it's like I don't know what the fuck's going on, but it'll be okay.
Shalom! Ahoy!
He would never be able to adequately express how grateful he was to them. Thank you, Thomas. You have no idea how much you and Mary mean to me. Aw, I'm glad to hear it. We're always here if you need us. You know where we are, and if you need us, we're just a phone call away. Again, some of the grammar or some of the writing could be tightened up a bit, but the hand moved from his shoulder to the top of his head before enthusiastically ruffling his hair.
No blessings.
Michael laughed and attempted to escape the hand, but it was no use. Can I help finish close up? I feel terrible for keeping you here so late with my problems. That's all good, Ma. You run on home and get yourself sorted. I'd wager you have an experience waiting for you tomorrow. And don't forget, keep us updated, okay? We'll be worried if you just go and vanish. The blue-haired chef stood with his arms crossed, a doubtful frown on his handsome face. When he stood like that, he really reminded him of Mary when she was scolding him for overworking. Ooh, big box. Of what? Right, well, thank you, Thomas, for everything. Good night, Micah. Night. True. Oh! Alone in his dimly lit apartment once more, the young man reflected on his day, collapsed on his bed. He pulled out his phone and stared at the screen. Still no reply from Leon. Absolutely nothing. Micah sighed and dropped his phone back down on the bed next to him. He hadn't had a return of the nightmare from the previous night, but maybe that was just his pure exhaustion and a lack of ghost stories. He knew he really shouldn't read ghost stories. He knew how anxious they made him, but he loved the history and lore behind them so much. Well, hopefully. Right now, it's just a lot of mystery. We have not met anyone to be gay with. We did get attacked by a drug cat. Yeah. He didn't know why ghosts in particular made him so nervous. He had never had a reason to be afraid of them. That he remembered, anyway. It was true that he used to see odd things, and still did if he was honest, but it felt deeper than that. A reason lost to the void of his childhood memories. He sighed to himself. He had done all he could for now. Prepared as best as he knew how. Tomorrow would be interesting. Just what would he find? Please, I want to see Catboy before the end of the demo. 3:30? In the morning? Or in the evening? Or afternoon? 4:30. What's up? Ah! Fucking bitch! What the fuck is that? Oh my god, okay. It's still dark. We're going to drag yourself bed to the bathroom. Oh my god. Okay, I will say, I hate the alarm sounds that they've chosen. They are literally making me jump. That's our phone, not the door this time. They need to have it once or twice at a much lower volume. Don't have it just repeat. Don't have it just repeat. Oh my god, okay. He showered slowly, enjoyed the feeling of the warm water falling around him after he dressed and sipped his coffee. 5 o'clock. It didn't take long for the sun to rise, and by the time he had prepared for his journey, it was already bright outside. Laid out before him a collection of items he had arranged for his adventure up the mountain. On the table was a map he'd laid out earlier. He had double and triple checked it, carefully looking at the location he decided on. A remote location even the city outskirts would consider outskirts. He'd already armed himself with a few things that may come in handy. Map, flashlight, snack, water, power bank. A map, a flashlight, assorted snacks.
A party approaches the throne.
ITV! Hello, Raiders! Hello! Thank you so much for stopping by!
Someone has joined the kingdom.
My name is Prince. I'm the third prince of the magical Melarosia Kingdom. I'm a variety server who loves cute things and cute boys. I mostly play story-heavy games such as RPGs and otomes, and tonight we are playing the demo of the In-Between. So far, we are actually just about to get to the actual inn. Maybe. It's debatable. But we've been going for 2 hours, and I'm ready to see boys. Give me boys. Give me boys.
Someone has joined the kingdom.
Thank you for head pats. Thank you all so much for becoming Melrosinians. Yeah, get your toe bean stamp, settle in. I hope you had a good stream, Tiffy.
I have no idea how long this demo actually is supposed to be.
Blink, 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 blink. My goodness, we are... we're only... Yeah, well, it's, So this is technically... This is a BL visual novel, so we are... Yeah, it's good to see you again as well.
Yeah, nothing's really happened. I mean, we've learned about the mystery, but that's kind of it. Yeah, this is BL, boys love. We are a amnesiac, technically, kind of. We have lost all of our memories of our childhood, and we were just visited by a ghost lawyer. And, given the deed to a mysterious inn. and a bunch of other stuff happened. We met a drug cat. We found out our best friend, or one of our best friends, stole from us. Which is crazy. Actually stole the deed to the inn and is telling us, don't go there, don't go there. We have a letter that says we are in danger. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's the thing. I'm gay. I love playing BL games. I played so many. This is an indie studio. I really like, this is published by the same studio that did, A Date with Death. And the creator studio is, the same ones that did Moonflower. So some good games behind that. Yeah. Yeah, there are so many BLVNs. It's great. And technically, I turn any visual novel I play into a queer one by, you know, how I always play the main characters as trans. So, hey. Yeah. He was prepared. He thought for whatever he might find out there. Oh, but for the Melrose and Neons, we are 12 away. We're now 12 away from unlocking a new visual novel. A new visual novel? You guys want the new visual novel, right? Yeah. Ugh. Oh, that sounds cool. That sounds so cool, Reaper. I love BL. Okay, you feel me, Tiffy. You feel me, because I will be out here shipping everything. Anything that has even the slightest bit of chemistry. Sometimes even they don't. I'm like, and they kiss. But yes, my lovely Melrose and Neons, we are 12 away from unlocking the new visual novel. When I say unlock, I mean Prince starts to work on it. Unlocking me working on it. So, you know. Technically that's unlocking. I mean, we just don't know how long it'll be until it's completed. I haven't even started writing. I haven't even started writing for it, y'all. Save me. Yeah, explosions are chemistry. Alright, he planned to only spend the day searching, but it couldn't hurt to have a few provisions on hand in case there really was nothing around. Ah, thank you. I think I should be good. I mean, the last VN I wrote we played in December. Last VN I wrote for my 4th anniversary, that was 30,000 words. This VN will not be 30,000 words. I'm not writing 30,000 words of y'all on a date with me. No. You'll get a good amount of words. It's not gonna be 30,000. It's not gonna be 30,000. Yeah, another round. Plus he only had his bike, and who knew how long it would take to get out there on a push bike. Yeah. Even by car, the destination was typically over an hour from the main city of Lobner. 40,000? No. What if they're really long words? I don't know. Why didn't I buy a car instead? He decided to take a proper map with him too. He found it buried deep in his drawer, a remnant of a time before you could just check a map on your phone. I mean, I guess we're gonna be careful in case we don't have any signal. I'm surprised they still make these things. Who uses them? Well, I do, I guess. By how difficult this place was to find, Micah thought it would be best to prepare for bad or no reception. Yeah. Locking the door behind him, Micah sat on his bike contemplating. This is a demo, so some of the writing, I'm like, you could tighten this up a little bit, but it's not bad at all. This was a good idea, right? What's the worst that could happen? I mean, we meet a man who kills us. He needed answers, and this building seemed to hold them. I just wish Leon would respond to my messages. What's gotten into him? 2 hours by bike. He was grateful for the foresight to take water with him. The further away from the city he got, the more spread out the buildings became. He expected sweeping farmland or something, but instead the tree line just got closer and denser the further out he went. Yeah, fast food, cream. The city didn't have nearly this much greenery. He'd never been out this way before. I found himself wondering why, especially as someone who did enjoy nature. It was still a city, but greener. The building's older. He liked it a lot. It looked different, yes, but more than that, it felt different. It had a soul of its own. I really need the movement to stop. Time seemed to pass quicker with the scenery. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's like someone went, it's Japan-ish. He took notes of the buildings close to his location, just in case he ever needed to come back here for anything. I really need the movement to stop. I'm gonna throw up. Yeah, it's like fake kanji, yeah. A convenience store, a clinic, a park, there's even a small primary school. Yeah, I don't think this is supposed to be Japan, but... I don't think they have the... Not on this section here. Nostalgic buildings and places. The area felt quaint and pleasant. Please. How? I would love to stop it. I would love to... Okay, so see, this is where I think it's kind of Japan. The play button turned pause. That's just auto. Before long, he rode through the outskirts and stopped at a rocky pathway, checking his map to confirm his location. This was it. The Magnus Inn. Or at least as close to where he thought the inn should be. Time would tell if it really was. Oh, there we go. Okay. He quickly hopped off his bike and placed it by the side of the path. If there's no sprites... Yeah, a Tori being here is interesting. So the path. We're not taking our bike with us? Are we gonna, like, chain it to a tree or something? The redhead found himself fascinated by the scene before him. He seemed to have found himself some kind of shrine gate. He'd found one in his research. Never would he have... Oh, he had found one in his research. Never would he have expected to own it, though. Do we own it, or do we just own the building? Yeah, we were at some place called Lobner. I don't know. This is like... Yeah. I don't even know. Could someone even own a shrine? I mean, technically, yes. Scanning the entrance, his eyes came to rest on another interesting thing. A letterbox. Huh. This place was so hard to find an address for. How does it even get mail? Who sends mail here? Micah swallowed hard. It was now or never, trying to find out what this property really was. Time to look at the mail. Committing federal crimes. Here I go. Oh, okay, no, we're just walking. Why do we check the mail? Steeling himself, he stepped forward, setting himself on the path into the unknown wood. Continuing along the pathway, Micah found himself surrounded by a thick, dense fog. He frowned through it, trying to see where he was going. Fog? Here? As he stopped, he noticed he was once again standing next to his bike, as if he hadn't started walking at all. Huh? Oh, God, it's a maze fog. Did I get turned around in the fog? A sudden shriek ripped through the calm fog, making every hair on Micah's body stand on end, and goosebumps erupt across his skin. Please don't be ghosts. Please don't be ghosts. He took a deep breath and took another step forward. Yeah. And another. And another. He could feel the fog clinging to his body as he passed through it. Hello, fog. Dense and thick. He wondered if Leon had to get through this too. How? He stumbled forward, blind in his footing. He didn't have a single clue what direction he was facing, nor where he was walking to. An absolutely brilliant idea. A shiver ran down his spine as his foot collided with an unseen object, freezing him in place. Slowly looking down, he saw his bike just where he'd left it. Fucking hell! Again? How? It felt like every time he moved forward, the fog took him back to the start again. Yeah. Frustration and confusion bubbled within him as his progress was reset. How is this even possible? He still didn't know what that shriek earlier was either. Maybe it was just a bird. A really, really creepy bird. Yeah, maybe he didn't want to know. He closed his eyes and tried to steady his pounding heartbeat. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, blue steps. He hadn't hit his bike again like last time. Oh! Maybe that was working. Maybe now he'd find his way through the fog. Oh, on his... Okay, now the UI... Now the UI matches the background. No, blessings! My goodness, the hiccups keep coming. On his 4th step, he started to hear the gentle trickle of water, something he hadn't heard before. Then his foot once again hit something hard. He furrowed his brow, ready to lay eyes on his bike again. But this time it didn't feel like his bike. He dared to open his eyes. Stairs. Huh. I guess that worked. He attempted to peer through the slightly thinning fog to see where the stairs could be leading to. His attention, however, fell firmly at the foot of what could only be a tree. Also, yeah, this is like Japanese because look at the, I never remember the names of these, but it's a Shinto thing. Sacred tree stuff. To his surprise, he could make out the shape of a cat. Cat! Sitting majestically on the top step, it appeared expertly carved. Cat! It almost looked alive. Cats, huh? I like this place already. This can't be as bad as Leon made it out to be. He gently touched the statue, a nervous laugh escaping his throat. Cats he could deal with. But what if they're ghost cats? Yeah. He shook his head, getting that stupid thought out of his mind. He turned his attention back to the statue. It felt slightly warm. Yeah. Intriguing. Are you some kind of shrine kitty? Yeah. The guardian of the entrance, maybe? You're doing a good job keeping it hidden, trust me. His mind was racing. He loved this kind of thing, but he had almost forgotten why he was even here, or his fear of the mysterious fog and his eagerness to explore more. One thing he'd always loved was history, and this place looked to have loads of it. What was this fog? What do you mean, what was? The fog is still here. What was this cat? We had 70 people on Discord? Holy molies. Holy molies.
That's a lot of people over on the Discord.
Goodness. You're all good. It's beyond this river. Question after question raced through the redhead's mind. See, wiki people, we're not niche. His apprehension somehow turned to excitement. He rubbed his chin and thought, if you're a shrine marker or a guardian, maybe you need some kind of offering? But what? Do I have anything I can offer? We have snacks. Micah felt his pockets. What did he bring? Oh, his what? His hand landed on the sketchbook he always carried with him. No snacks? I wonder if this would work. He sat down on the steps of the little statue and analyzed the figure meticulously. It's been a while since I drew something like this. With the dexterous fingers, he snatched the pencil he kept behind his ear, a habit he had formed from both drawing and serving at the cafe. Yeah. Line after careful line, a tiny image of a cat formed under his pen strokes. He smiled to himself. Hey, it's cute. What do you think, kitty? With a cheerful pride in his work, he turned the book around to show the statue. Why am I talking to it? I probably sound crazy right now. At least no one else seems to be around. What do you think? Will this suffice for an offering to the great cat shrine? He smiled as he carefully tore the page out of his little book, folded it neatly, and sat it under the vase that was next to the cat. I didn't notice that until now, but does someone frequent here? The flowers look fresh. Unless they're fake? Michael leapt to his feet as the sound echoed around him. Drug cat! Oh. The last of the fog. His eyes widened as he watched the fog clear before his very eyes. No way! Did that actually work? Yeah, turn into a boy already, cat statue! I need a boy to kiss! An enormously large building sat nestled in a sea of green, and a bamboo bridge led across the stream to the opening in front of the building. It was a breathtaking sight. He felt like he was in another world, like stepping into a fairy tale. Leon said this building didn't like him, but once the fog passed, he felt something incredibly inviting. Again, the bell sounded. Drug cat! His origin still unknown, although it sounded closer this time. Where is that coming from? He took one last glance at the figure of the cat. He honestly found it very cool. It was rare to see things like this now. Most places like this have been bulldozed to make way for more modern facilities. No doubt Leon's father would salivate over a space like this. In fact, he was more sure than ever that that very thing was part of this deed puzzle piece. As he brought his attention back to the bridge, he was surprised to find a sleek black feline sitting in the middle, its keen eyes watching him curiously. It's the drug cat. The cat that licked our head and got rid of all of our body aches. Oh, hello there. He slowly knelt on the step, careful not to frighten it. Are you the one with the bell? Yeah. Micah stretched out his hand to get close to the animal, careful not to frighten it. It's okay. I won't hurt you, I promise. I just want to pat you. Please let me pat you. Please let me pet the kitty! Creeping ever closer, the feline was finally close enough to touch. Hey, here, kitty. That's right, over here. The small animal regarded him with interest, casually sniffing at his outstretched hand. He watched in anticipation as its slender tail twitched and wiggled in excitement. Aw, it's so cute! His breath caught as the feline's slow creep towards him ended in a final pounce. Joy spread through him as he scratched under the feline's chin. Oh, such a good kitty, yes you are. I'm half expecting Kiki to come in and be like, Mother, are you cheating on me? Enthusiasm was all that could describe the cat's response to him.
Oh, thank you for head patch.
It excitedly purred. For such a tiny body, it certainly had a motor of a purr. The redhead's heart fluttered, the cat affectionately headbutting his hand every time Micah's fingers left its silky fur. Yeah, have you been petting other cats behind my back? I love cats. I never expected to find one so friendly all the way out in a place like this. Maybe this is my lucky day after all. You're so pretty, but I bet you know that. Oh, so it's not you? What? Who? The chime of the bell sounded like it was surrounding him, close yet impossibly distant. The kind of sound that could be a threat. And yet, he felt no malice. Just Kitty. No force of any kind. Instead, it sounded annoyed? Hey, where'd you go? Damn, the bell must have scared it off. He stood from his kneeling position, brushing off his pants. Yeah, I wonder where it went. He was kind of disappointed it ran away, honestly. No wonder Leon felt a welcome here. With cats guarding this place, it's misery central for him. He checked his phone out of habit. Not surprisingly, he had no signal. He would have been shocked if it did work out here. Yeah, that as much. Carefully, he took gentle steps across the bridge, watching the slow flow of the river below him. Yeah. As he approached the building, he was surprised to find it looked ever more beautiful from close. From close? Okay. He wondered just how big it really was. From the outside, it seemed rather large. Again. It sounded like it was directly in front of him now. Was it trying to lead him somewhere? He stood at the threshold of the unique-looking building, taking in the structure before him. It was impossible to be anything other than impressed. He hadn't seen anything like this on any of the maps of the area he found, nor was there anything like it in the city. It's amazing. Lanterns framed the entrance. Cheerful little faces decorated their surfaces. Aw, he found them cute. He did wonder if many people had ever seen these lanterns. It seemed so remote, and yet the building looked well kept. With a heavy chest, his hand hovered before the door, biting his lips as he thought on what to do. Is it dangerous? Maybe, but I've come all this way already. Was he sure? Whatever was behind these doors might just change his life forever. Open them! I love we could choose to back away. Motherfucker, we're not backing away. Go inside. He took a deep breath. This moment would change his life, or at least he hoped it would. It would be quite lackluster to go all this way and have nothing happen. Ghost cats or not. No chickening out now. For better or worse, he was going to move forward. No more secrets. No longer would he be kept in the dark. Whatever his fate held, he would meet it head on. Yeah. He took a step forward. All right, let's do this. This is what I came here for. He reached forward to knock on the door. Hello? Is anyone home? I don't think anyone lives here, but the cat looked well looked after, and there was flour in the vase, so someone must come here, right? Yeah. It would be impolite not to knock. The door before him swung open. Oh, okay. Oh, God, please don't tell me you're some kind of ghost cat and I'm about to get eaten. That's not the way I want to go as much as I like cats. He felt sick. He squeezed his eyes shut as he braced himself. Of all things, taken out by a ghost cat. Oh. Meow. Huh? Meow. Meow? Oh, Kitty! It's the drug cat! It is the drug cat. A large black cat sat proudly on the doorway, its tail flicking happily side to side. I thought it was a dude just saying meow. No, it was an actual cat. Meow. Meow. Its large purple eyes looked up at him expectantly. Micah felt all the tension in his body release at once, falling to his knees laughing. You scared me half to death, you silly cat! The cat strutted over at him, stepping up into his lap and licking him on the forehead. Oh, drug cat! This is a familiar sensation. You know, you look like a cat I met in a dream once. Staring into the large purple eyes, he ran his fingers down the spine of the creature. Yeah. He'd never seen eyes like that on a real cat before. The deep purple swirled like liquid amethyst, almost glowing in the dark. It really did look exactly like the cat in his dreams. As impossible as that was. Drug cat! Woo! Drug cat! Its fur so soft. It felt like it was made of cloud. He wondered what kind of cat it was. At a glance, its size could be mistaken for a Maine Coon. Something about that didn't quite feel correct, though. In the absence of any other ideas, he decided to just go with that. Much better option than ghost cat. Can I come in? Meow. It jumped down off his lap and walked back inside the building, stopping to look back at him as if waiting for him to follow. Do you want me to follow you? See, Russian blues aren't that fluffy, though. Russian blues aren't that fluffy. Do you follow you? Meow. I'm gonna take that as a yes. He rose to his feet and followed after the feline. Darkness swallowed the redhead's sight as the door closed behind him, seemingly on its own. His stomach plunged into anxiety at the reignited idea that this building really was haunted. Damn, it's dark in here. I can't see a thing. Trying his best to remain calm, he began to move forward, trying his best to follow his furry little guide. His tongue felt sticky with the building uncertainty. If your tongue feels sticky, you need to go see a doctor. Your tongue should not feel sticky. Also, didn't we bring a flashlight? Oh. No light greeted him as he continued, walking gingerly down a hallway for what seemed like an eternity, bathed in darkness. His eyes strained for any sound which could help get his bearings. Yeah, I've never heard of them either. But then again, I'm not like up to date with newer cat breeds. All right. You've sent me on the tangent. Oh my god, you're right. Oh, that's precious. Oh, it's so cute. It's kind of similar to Squeaky. I mean, she doesn't have... Well, no, she does kind of have green eyes, I think. I think she's got green or yellow-green eyes. It's kind of similar to Kiki. I mean, Kiki's got spotting, though, so she's got white. Huh. Good call. Yeah, good calls out him. As the hall twisted and turned, it was all he could do to make sure he could still hear the little soft padding of the cat paws in front of him. If he stopped moving, a sharp grumble would float through the halls back to him as if he was being scolded for falling behind. Where are you leading me? Meow. Why am I asking questions of a cat? It's not like I understand it. It does seem to understand me, though. It responds every time. I know it's just my mind playing tricks on me, but I almost feel like you understand what I'm saying. Ah, yeah. I must be losing it. Meow. That really doesn't help. Just as he opened his mouth to test his theory further, the hallway ended. In place of the endless void of a hallway, a blindingly bright light seeped from the new opening, flooding the once dark hallway. Huh? He shielded his eyes as he prepared to step into the new room. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. They really were like, and then bam, Eastern music.
Slides! I have ribbons! They're ribbons! And a lantern. Ribbons and a lantern.
It seemed to glow with intensity, so bright after that long dark corridor. Oh fuck, we're doing the oh god. This is what it feels like to die, isn't it? Huh? Don't go into the light, you're too young to die. The redhead took slight amusement in his antics. He would probably be mad if he actually did die by walking into it, though. Squinting around the new room, his eyes struggled to adjust to the new light. In front of him, dutifully leading the way, the cat, casually striding towards a large pond in the middle of the room. He watched as it gracefully leapt up onto a rock nestled in the center of the pond, before settling down to watch him from its perch. Oh, wow, what is this place? Yeah, a pond in the middle of the room? A reception desk? The room itself was spectacular, far beyond anything he could have possibly predicted. It appeared to be some manner of reception foyer. Also, I love that the stairs lead you straight to the pond. Where do the stairs go from there? How are you supposed to take the stairs? It appeared to be some reception foyer. Light filtered in from above, bathing the aquatic garden in the center of the room in a natural spotlight. And whatever that is on the wall, this place is something else. A giant cat. The most attention-grabbing thing of the whole room, yeah, however, was an enormous painting of a black cat. Its emerald eyes casting its all-seeing gaze to all corners of the room. Or at least that's what it felt like. The more he looked at it, the stranger it felt. Yeah. I guess this place really loves cats, huh? Meow. Is that a yes? Meow. Right, meow, of course. Everything in this room was spotless, perfectly preserved. Incredible. Does someone live here? It is so clean, but I thought it was meant to be abandoned. Oh, what's this? No response, kitty? Talking to a cat like it's a person. I'm not crazy. I actually have to run to the restroom real quick, so I will be right back. We're gonna throw on the BRB. You guys listen to the music, and I'll be right back. All right, our turn. Told you to be quick. All right, back here. All right. I'm talking to a cat like it's a person. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. There are so many places you can go from here. This place is huge. Meow. Oh, now you respond. Micah yawned as he wandered around the room, inspecting the different elements. Oh, geez. Why am I so tired all of a sudden? I guess I haven't exactly been well rested lately. How long do I even sleep for now? Meow. Uh-huh. The cat jumped down off its rock and bounded up the stairs, once again stopping to make sure Micah was following. All right, I guess I'll follow you then. You do seem to know your way around. He climbed the stairs after the cat, chasing after his dark shadow. Wow, if that cat is in... If that sprite is the correct approximate size to the stairs, that cat is fucking huge. That is like a panther-sized cat. The mirror looked impossibly large from here, looming overhead as it occupied everything in its view. But more than that, he felt like if he reached out and touched it, it would ripple like droplets on still water. The moment that thought crossed his mind, he found he had already reached out, completely enthralled. Hey, what the hell? It attacked me! The hair was raised along the spine of the cat, its tail fluffed to a ridiculous degree. Okay, note to self, don't touch the picture. All right, I'm sorry, I won't touch it, I promise. The fur slightly flattened once more and the threatening growl dulled. Micah rubbed his wrist. Damn, I've seen cats with quick reflexes before, but that was insane. Yeah, maybe it can. It's only a small scratch, but I'll have to make sure it doesn't get infected or something. Who knows where this cat's been? As quickly as it attacked, the cat continued on, leading the redhead up the stairs. It was completely back to normal. Another winding path later, and it finally came to stop in front of an elaborately decorated sliding door. Micah rubbed the back of his neck. He was already getting a little tired of all the endless and identical hallways. He wasn't excited to have to navigate this maze on his own, but still annoyingly curious what was behind the door they'd just come to stop at. Meow. You want it opened? Meow. All right then, hope this doesn't belong to someone. Prepared this time for the potential of yet another blinding light, Micah made to shield his eyes as he cautiously slid open the door. No such light came. This room was shrouded in a soft darkness, gently illuminated by the silvery hues of the moonlight spilling through the large open doors. As Micah entered the room, a delicate scent began to fill the space, and a tiny flickering light came to life in the middle of the room. What? Coupled with the moonlight streaming through the open side doors, it gave the room a hypnotic glow. I didn't expect this place to be so nice. Also, you're not concerned about why the candle suddenly flickered on? As his eyes adjusted to the dim light of this room, he noticed the open doors to the side of the room. There's a garden? Are we outside now? Didn't we go upstairs? As he pondered the unexpected geographical mystery, the scent from earlier enveloped him. Despite having never been in this building before, let alone this room, he felt so comfortable. This place gets more unusual with every step. The longer he spent smelling that scent, the more relaxed he got. This smell, honey? Oh, it's the honey! It's honey! We're honey cats! Meow! Tearing his vision away from the glowing garden outside the room, he slowly made his way to the bed the cat now lounged on. Meow! Meow! Uh-huh. He wasn't sure if it was answering his query on scent or demanding him join it on the plush-looking bed. This cat. All right, bossy little thing, aren't you? Yeah, aggressive. Meow. I'm just waiting for the cat to turn into a man and for him to just say meow. Meow. Micah laughed, talking to the cat had gone from bizarre to oddly comforting. His hands finally felt soft fabric. There was a very simple ornateness to the room, and this bed was no exception. The cat is inviting us to bed. Hiding behind a floral divider, the crimson covers had a luxurious appearance. He could almost see some kind of feudal noble living in a room like this. Please question the candle. Yeah. True, yeah. Neat, premium finishes, intricately painted murals, not to mention a private garden. Why was he allowed in here? He sat down slowly, weary of the room he was in, even as he surrendered to its comfort. Oh, damn, this is comfy. You know, kitty, I just might never leave this place. Meow. It sounded excited. That was a bit disconcerting. Lost in thought about the comfort of the bed, Micah jumped when a small tickle touched his scratched wrist. Whiskers. Huh? Oh, it's just a scratch. It's okay. It's my fault anyway. Yeah, we haven't even went on a date yet. It nudged his arm affectionately, purring loudly as it did so. Guess it feels bad, which is a ridiculous notion. Drug, cat, drug, cat, drug, cat. But it wasn't today full of entirely ridiculous notions. Micah yawned again, worn down from his travel. Oh man, whatever's in that candle is making me so sleepy. We're not questioning why the candle is lit. The cat offered no response but a gentle lick to his wound. I guess it's probably fine if I take a quick nap. A quick nap? Yeah, I definitely won't be accosted by a cat man in my sleep. The redhead removed his shoes and jacket, and against his better judgment, he laid down. He hoped whoever owned this room wouldn't be upset by his use. It's not like he could actually blame the cat. A soft pressure on his chest soon followed. He knew exactly what it was, the very fluffy feline who had lured him here. That's Kiki. She says, "Lay down, mother, lay down." And she leads me meowing to the bed. Yeah, and I lay down, and then she gets up on the bed, and she gets on my thigh. And she goes, "Yes, this is what I wanted." A very fluffy feline who lured him there. Its fur was so incredibly soft. Its rhythmic purring vibrated through his chest, setting the very beat of his own breathing. It certainly is comfortable. You too, kitty? He was barely able to form his words before his eyes closed and he knew no more. Plunk. Heavy. What is that? Yep! 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 A heavy pressure weighed down on Micah's entire body, much too heavy for a house cat, even one as large as the one which slept on him. The redhead groaned as he grew restless in his wakefulness. His face twitched in the breeze which had awoken him, a soft tickle on his neck. Kind of like a breath? Micah's eyes snapped open. It only took a few minutes to see what was pinning him down. A man. A fully grown man. Face down, nuzzled. Oh shit, he's naked! Oh god! Nuzzled into Micah's neck. He is cuddling. Oh my god, he really went all the way down! Oh god! Oh boy! Face down, nuzzled into Micah's neck. One hand crept up inside Micah's shirt. His legs curled around him. His breath tickled Micah's clavicles. He slept sadly, seemingly undisturbed by Micah's shocked awakening. Holy fuck! Catman! An avalanche of fear and confusion gripped the young man. Somehow he had to get out. Micah tried to boof out from under him, desperate to escape without waking the man to avoid confrontation. His grip on him tightened. I love how they say that there's a hand up our chest, but the art does not match that. Its grip on him tightened, hands sliding further up Micah's chest, not quite awake, but aware enough to hold on, as if snuggling up to a favorite body pillow. Only the body happened to belong to Micah instead of a pillow. The most shocking thing, however, came in addition to movement. The man was completely naked! Panic and confusion overwhelmed Micah's senses that was just too much. What the fuck? He says out, what the fuck? Micah's mind races. He tried to think of any way to get out from under this man without waking him. You woke him up now. The last thing he wanted was to have to face this man awake. Just who is this guy? Every time Micah attempted to peel off the clinging grip the man had on him, it became even tighter. Is he awake and just messing with me? Micah slid sideways as gently as possible, careful not to disturb the man too much. He really didn't want to wake him up. Feeling the man's warm skin against him made him shiver. Stop going down to his crotch, I beg of you! He looks so peaceful, like this is the most comfortable he's ever been. You know what? Yeah, you could that's a clip waiting to happen. Holy shit. That's a clip. I almost feel bad disturbing him. Damn it, no, that's not what I should be thinking right now. After what felt like hours, Micah finally managed to wriggle out from under the sleeping man, only to hear the rustling of sheets behind him as he moved to collect his clothing. No, don't wake up now! Micah glanced back towards the bed carefully. He saw the man lazily lift his body and tug his knees under him with drooped ears. With a yawn, he rubbed his tired eyes as his tail loosely wrapped around his lower body. He seemed none too pleased about being woken up, flicking his tail as he moved to face Micah. As the man yawned again, Micah took the opportunity to reattempt to retrieve his clothing. Like lightning, the man had hold Micah's wrist as he pulled him back towards him. Where are you going? Away! Away! He almost sounded sad. No! Staring back into Micah's eyes. Micah would have almost believed it if his sleepy voice didn't sound completely deliberate. Is he attempting to flirt? Yeah. Micah could feel his face heating up, almost face to face with the man, one knee on the edge of the bed to brace himself. His vision was filled with the deep purple flecked with silver. I could see the colors in his eyes. Yeah, this is way too close. How did I get myself into this mess? I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone lived here. I thought it was empty. I really didn't mean to disturb. He stuttered as he tried to free himself from the grip around his wrist, still hypnotized by those eyes. I'm sorry about this. That painting can be very dangerous to humans. Huh? Micah froze, the situation going from awkward to downright bizarre. Huh? The sad look deepened on the man's face as he gently brushed his thumb over the scratch Micah obtained the previous night. I don't know. I don't want to ask. I don't want to ask. It's okay. It's just a cat being a cat. They do that sometimes. No big deal. Just a cat, huh? Oh, interesting. Do you like cats? You know what? I'm gonna do this one in fan service voice just for you all. A little free fan service voice for you all. Just a cat? How interesting. Do you like cats? There you go. He flicked his tail and twitched his ears as he said this. Micah felt an increasingly ominous feeling welling up from deep within his body. This man was dangerous. Meow, 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 meow. Not necessarily a danger, though. Micah didn't feel like he was gonna hurt him, but still, he felt powerful in his sultry voice while in this position. Micah couldn't help but notice how beautiful the man was. He was afraid to close his eyes, but that meant he had no choice but to stare at the naked man gripping his wrist.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My voice is my charm point. My voice is my charm point.
This is more my actual, like, natural register. Usually, like, a bit more down here, too. Putting a little more vocal fry usually actually gets it closer to my real normal register. But
I can go higher, and I can go higher, and I can go higher, and super higher until we get to the cutesy voice. We get to the cutesy voice, and sometimes I'll just go up to this voice without even thinking about it. I just do this voice without even thinking about it.
And then, back to normal register, I can go down a little bit more, I can go down a little bit more, until we get down to the very bottom of my register, which is more vocal fry than actual voice at this point, let's be real. And then, I can go princess voice, a little more soft, a little more feminine. And then we have, when you get a little more breathy with the princess voice and drop it just down with a little bit of vocal fry, that's when you get the fan service voice. But yeah, voices, I'm good at those. The man seemed to notice his gaze, a satisfied smirk replacing his sad pout. Oh yeah, no, that's completely natural. I have absolutely no vocal mods on, other than like some EQ to fix noise and some slight noise suppression. Vocal fry, I think it's called, I don't know why, but I know it's activating your secondary vocal cords. It activates your secondary vocal cords, yeah.
So I can go from up here,
All the way down to here.
all the way from up here.
Down all the way down here.
Yeah, your false chords. Yeah. Vocal fry is using those. It's a secondary, like, vibration of your vocal cords. Yeah. 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 Enjoying the view. A voice like Velvet and a teasing wink. There we yeah, I actually did it. A teasing wink. Ugh.
I mean, when I'm down here.
You hear it then. You really hear the popping there. It's just when there's other vowels and consonants around it, it's a little more just part of the sound. He grunted in displeasure as he tore his hand out of the other man's grip. No, we do enjoy the sight. This time he was met with no resistance. An amused chuckle escaped the man's lips. I didn't expect you to be so easy to tease. How fun. Micah had about enough of this man. Who are you? I love our options. Who are you, but two different ways of saying it. Who are you? I don't know. Enough. Micah took a step back from the flirtatious man. Who are you? Answer me. Who are you? Tell me something. Something? What kind of something? Oh, I know. I quite like blueberries. Huh? Oh, what? No, your name. Who are you? Micah stared at the man, his curiosity winning out just slightly over his frustration. Who do you think I am? The smirk that covered his face only grew. Micah never wanted to punch a stranger more than he did right now. He didn't seem like he was going to answer who he was. The redhead sighed. Useless. I'm sorry. I'm leaving, so sorry whoever you are to have intruded. Aw, don't go so soon. Micah didn't wait. He turned on his heel and almost ran out of the room, but he didn't get far. Heh! Before he got to the door, something heavy, blessings, leaped on him and laid us squarely against his back, wrapping their arms around him. They both laid it on the ground in a heap. Well, what the hell? Why? You didn't answer me. What? Do you like cats? That's what you tackled me for? For the love of God, please put some clothes on. No. No. Huh? What do you mean no? Ugh, they're just awful. I hate them. So no. People should wear clothes. They really, really should. Micah stole a glance back at the mysterious man. Especially you. I'm not really like most people, though, am I? There it was again, that flirtatious tone. A tone that sounded like he was about to eat Micah up. Yeah, about that. The man raised an eyebrow inquisitively, clearly expecting the next thing to come from Micah's mouth. Do you know what happened to the cat from outside? I wonder if we can find it again. It was really sweet. Outside? No. The man sighed dramatically, and Micah couldn't help but feel a little bit proud. That was clearly not what he expected him to ask. As curious as he was about the ears and tail, he'd had more than enough about this nonsense. Yeah. Right, well, I'm out. Nice to meet you and all that. He managed to retrieve his shoes, however, his jacket was sacrificed for his escape. Oh, well, at least I got away from that weirdo. Hi, Kiki. Hi, baby.
Everybody say hi to my kitty. Where are you going? Hi. Hi.
Hi, sweetheart.
Everybody say hello to my kitty. Hi, baby girl. Hi, baby girl.
All right. Oh, at least I got away from that weirdo. Nice going, Micah. Think you could have been any more awkward. He did really want to know who that guy was, though. Fell asleep with a cat, woke up with a man. First time for everything, I suppose. That's another one for the memory loss vault. He retraced his steps from the previous night, returning once again to the lavish hall. He gave a wide berth to the overwhelmingly large cat portrait. Dangerous to humans? I guess so. It did get me attacked last night. Interesting that it's got... I can recognize some of this stuff as very clearly being Arabic, but I don't know if it's... I don't know enough... I don't know enough Arabic. I don't know any Arabic. I don't know how to read Arabic. So I can't tell if this is like backwards, upside down. It doesn't look really upside down, but it looks like it's written... Could be backwards and horizontal. I don't know. It did get me attacked last night. He absentmindedly rubbed the scratch on his wrist. The place really was beautiful, though. Micah knelt in front of the pond, catching sight of his reflection on the pristine water. Yeah, he looked good, actually. Not a single hint of his building exhaustion could be seen in the face staring back at him. Despite the craziness of what I woke up to, I slept pretty damn good. Better than he had in months, in fact. He honestly couldn't remember the last time he felt so well rested. Shame about the wake-up, though. A man with ears and a tail. A naked cosplaying one at that. Alright. He stood up from the pond. I wonder what time it is. My phone's still in my jacket. Wait, so we sacrificed our jacket, which had our phone, and I'm starving. Micah rubbed his forehead. This isn't how I saw this going at all. I figured I'd find an empty manor, snoop around, find nothing but spiderwebs and antiques. Not whatever the hell this is. As much as he grumbled, he was simultaneously enthralled by the mystery and beauty of the building. Wary of running into his new exhibitionist friend again. What an amazing sentence. He decided to explore some more. Micah wandered around the room, inspecting the pond, the desk, listening for any other sounds that might indicate his new friend may be around. It's weird that it's basically an outdoor courtyard in the middle of the room, though. You never guessed that from the outside. I wonder if there's a kitchen around here somewhere. Staying next to the pond once more, Micah picked another direction in which to explore. Upstairs to the left was where I slept, so it must be guest rooms. Maybe downstairs? Deciding to check the downstairs area first, while also putting more distance between him and the room he'd fled, Micah decided on the archway to the right of the room. So, here's the thing. I'm gonna be ending stream after this ad. Oh, good night, Reaper. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. So I think this actually might be a good place to stop. Because otherwise we're gonna get deeper into, like, exploring. So I'm gonna drop another save, and we're just gonna... oh, hi, baby. We're just gonna sit for the ad. Yeah, at least we met the catboy. I will say I'm surprised it took this long to actually, like, meet the catboy, too. We haven't even met the other dude. And the other dude's hot, too. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. So our roommate was another one of the love interests. The boss not. He's married. Boss is married. Yeah, we need more homewrecker routes. Interesting, Zatetica. Interesting. I am sleepy. Starting to feel very sleepy. Yeah, there are a lot more NTR themed gal games. I don't actually think I have seen a single NTR themed otome. I feel like that's a niche that it has not been matched. Or I guess filled would be the correct way to put it. There's a new otome that's currently being pitched that is really interesting. It is a yandere otome game with investigation inspired by Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney. It's yandere, psychological horror, and a white-haired man who claims to be your husband. I'm interested in that. I am so interested in that. It literally... Yeah, it's got like some adventure gameplay apparently. It's called Broken Fate. It's currently only wishlist on stream, but I am on Steam. But I am very, 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 very interested in it. Wow, Hello Kitty Island Adventure is on sale on Steam. I opened up Steam to double check it, and Steam goes, hey, here's things that are on sale. Hello Kitty. Do you want to play Hello Kitty? And I'm like, well, I mean, interesting, but... Yeah, my thing still says got about 30 seconds left. Apparently, yeah. Apparently it can. There's a lot you could do with RenP. What I do with RenP is very basic because I'm not great with Python. I don't know how to do like special stuff on my own with Python, but no, shut up, phone. I hate that I accidentally touching things brings up a bunch of auto-playing ads. All right, so those ads are over. Our ads are now over, which means we're gonna pop over here now. All right, you all know the usual song and dance. If you're not already following me on social media, I'd appreciate it very much if you would. As well, if you're not already part of our Discord server, I would love to see you there. We have a lot of fun. Oh, blessings. Oh my goodness, blessings. Tomorrow will be Lover Pretend. we're gonna get into starting our third route, actually. Our third route. Very exciting stuff. And then, yeah, next week is there's 5. We can date our boss, our professor. He's the secret route. I mean, well, secret route. It's heavily implicated. Okay, my headphone fell off my head. Hold on. But yeah. So we'll do that, and then we'll get stuff prepared for event stream next week. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful meowing, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. Thank you all so much for being here. And without any further ado, bye.